And this is why I like these movies. There's no reason behind it. Yeah. He's just there to kill people. Rob Zombie fucked up by showing the backstory and making him a sympathetic character for us to kind of get behind.
See, I still didn't sympathize with him, though.
Well,
I think that's because...
But don't do that. I don't fucking care. It's more scary when he's just a thing.
Yeah.
The shape. You know what I mean? Like, there's no reason for him to kill. There's no reason for him to go after a certain person, but he's doing it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that's fucking scary.
What makes it hard. And not only that, but using the largest butcher knife.
Oh, I know.
You could, like, I was like, they even sell them that big? Like who needs to be like, ha?
You got to be cutting that meat, bro. I don't know.
And I will, when he stabbed, I think I only winced one time, or not winced, but just go like, ooh, yeah. Is right when he stabs, like Hartnett in the leg.
Yeah.
That was like the worst, injury.
The whole thing went
I was
into
like,
his leg.
Ooh! I was like, did he hit the artery?
Hey, welcome to our special Halloween episode of The Decision Reel. This week, Tara's here, Josh is here, I'm here. We're looking at a movie that's called
That was perfect.
Halloween
Sorry.
H20, or 20 years later.
Or is it just, I was thinking, is it just H20? Because I did want to talk about this.
So that's another thing, right?
It is 20 years.
Everybody that I've ever talked to or heard talk about has said H2O, but it's H20.
Right. Because I was like, Halloween water?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it could be. It's not Camp Crystal Lake. You know what would be cool? Going right out there and saying it already.
Oh. It's messed with my 80. My 80
yeah,
like,
me too.
Yeah.
Cool. YouTube just copyright striked us. They done Freddy vs. Jason.
Do you need me to announce who that song was by?
Sure, composer.
Will it help?
No, it's fine.
The piano guy.
The piano guy. It was by Michael Myers. He made the shit.
Is a person.
Oh, what's his name?
John Carpenter.
The director?
That is the director of the first Halloween movie.
It says.
And he also made the music for it. Right.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, he did everything in that movie, which we could have got into last week because Wally watched that movie, not The Babadook. So if you want to see Wally confusingly try to review a movie he's watched one time 10 years ago, check that out last week on another spooky season episode. But this spooky season episode, what I was just trying to get to, they did Freddy vs. Jason, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to see a Michael vs. Jason.
That'd be good.
Right? Like almost the same killer when you break it down. Yeah. Slow moving.
That's the
machete.
It's the
machete versus knife.
Methodical pace.
Right. You're running away, but somehow they're always one step ahead of you. Right. It's because they're a shape shifter.
Then how long would it last? Because it feels like they don't die. So we just keep going.
Stab. Right.
It would be a bad joke. They
would literally
an old school cartoon.
People are running away from them, and they keep coming back to them, and they're just.
But Michael Myers is a human.
Yes. Jason Voorhees is a
human, but
too.
he's like he is risen.
Well, there's lots of stuff about Mike Myers though.
Right.
Because then there was that path that he went on where it was like the curse of the whatever thorn or whatever.
Yeah. So if you look at Halloween Resurrection, which is the logical next movie after Halloween Water, is he gets resurrected into a different body. Or if you look at, I believe it's Halloween 7, in this movie, spoilers at the end, Michael Myers gets his head cut off. But they retcon that by saying he changed his clothes and put the mask on a hospital worker that put them in.
Man, we jumped right to the end because I was like, it's over. I was like, how is there more?
How would he have done that? What did he pay that person to chase her or to like?
Well, I don't think
he just shoved him in the fucking the body.
And
the
then
body bag.
when I after I read that,
why didn't
that
he
was
speak?
like the thing. Because he was probably I was talking about his
so
mouth
they
was
say
probably taped.
he broke his jaw or something.
Yeah.
They say something in that movie, he like ripped his tongue out or broke his jaw or something, to where that's why he's reaching like.
Yeah, and you can tell. Like I remember, even when he was reaching before I read that, I was like, oh, look at his eyes. Like he's really like asking for help, and now it makes sense that it wasn't him. I was like, you mother.
But then if you turn the situation around and you got the guy who's Mike Myers who doesn't die because maybe there's a spiritual something, the shape around him.
They just keep changing the rules.
Sure, but would a real regular person survive getting thrown out? Sorry, not thrown out. shot out of the front window
Right.
first, then getting up, then getting run over, then flying down a fucking hill,
You
hitting
know
a
what?
tree,
Maybe.
and then the fucking van hitting them.
Maybe a better argument for that than your head getting cut off and then somehow you're back in more movies. But like, sure.
I've seen crazier things happen.
Have we?
Have you seen The Fast and the Furious?
They're in space now.
Exactly. How do you go from boosting VCRs to being in space
But like,
in a Fiero?
but space travel is real.
Not in a Fiero.
Someone
that's made
getting
of
their head
pla-
cut off and surviving. Haven't heard of that yet. Thus far.
Look, scientific
Thus far.
things have come a long way, and that was a clean cut. Let's be real.
It really was.
And I
though.
was curious because she
It's
hit him from
honestly,
the side.
it's kind of impressive.
It's really impressive. No, there ain't nobody in the history of the world with an axe made for fire that's been used through the movie that's going to be that strong to cut somebody's head off, that clean, that precise. You know what I mean?
That thing would have had to be so sharpened. One, she would have had to wield it just right. And
Even if
two,
you're breaking
had
down-
the strength.
And if you're
to
breaking
do it.
That's
down
the real thing.
with the
After a
strength.
car accident and trauma from the entire evening of like running around and stuff.
That might be why she was able to do it. All that trauma.
Oh, the mom strength.
It's
her,
the
her
mom
son,
strength, you think?
her son's in jeopardy.
Sister
who we don't even know who the
strength.
dad is, but does it really matter?
Boyfriend's dead. You know,
No, he's fucking dead.
So he's dead.
It was funny because halfway through, confession, I've never actually seen this movie, and I wanted to watch it for this on purpose because
Me
it
too.
was when you pick Scream, it jogged my memory of. I remember people talking about H20 like, oh, they only made it because of Scream being, successful and different.
let's
So
bring it back.
let's make this sort of like Scream with the younger kids and all this other shit, which they did. But also, number one, low kill count in this movie.
very low.
Only like 3 people.
Number two,
If you don't
while
count him,
yeah,
since clearly he didn't die.
sure.
but-
As I was watching
Whoever
it, this
that
is
guy was.
what I thought about was like, oh, who could the killer be? Like, it's not Michael. And in my brain, I was like, they're setting this up as like, hey,
Right.
maybe
This
it's
could be, yeah.
maybe it's the boyfriend because he's kind of weirdly there and pops up randomly and kind of jovial about the whole. Oh, so you're actually Laurie Strode. I'll have that drink.
Right.
Like he didn't care.
I will say, and I said this earlier today when I was watching it, I feel like this is at least closer, though, in like other horror movies that I've seen where it's like a sequential thing, like where shit has happened to this character before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. I feel like this one is at least more realistic to her trauma still being an issue.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like in the past I've seen sequels or whatever to movies where I'm like, you're good.
Right.
Like you just saw so many friends
Right.
die and
Oh,
stuff,
yeah.
and you got chased by someone who ended up being your brother, has killed most of your family, like, and you're good.
Apparently.
You know, this made sense. Like her son, I get, like it was ruining his life. Oh no.
Well, and he didn't have
and
to
he
live
was like,
through it,
God,
yeah.
Mom, it's been 20 years.
Well,
Like, you
and
really
he's
think
never had to deal with it.
exactly?
Right.
But like to me, it seemed more realistic that it was something she was still like, at least at that time of year, an issue.
Right.
Makes sense.
This isn't like, oh, you had a parent die, still tragic, but then on that day,
Right.
still 20 years from now,
Right.
it's, because everyone does go through that eventually. She literally had a slasher coming after her and her friends.
And in this
murdering
alliteration,
them
hold on, that's
in front of them.
That's her brother in this alliteration.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So even fucking more wild.
I haven't finished all the Screams yet, 'cause I'm still knocking those down. But I imagine what would it be like for Cindy 20 years later, living through like we talked about Screams, like, oh, that was just last year, and then it's Scream 2.
Right. Yeah.
And then it was like, oh shit, now it's Scream 3.
Yeah.
Like, and Scream 3 really got me, by the way. We gotta talk about that later.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, but I was like, this was I really enjoyed. This was like a good slasher, good pace. I was a little worried in the beginning because they were like so much with the school. Hey, can we talk about that school?
I
Is it
wanted
just
to
one
as well.
class of 60 kids?
Yeah. Weird.
And they're all the same age, and they're all.
It's like a prestigious, like,
But it's like a boarding school.
they live there.
But yet
I
she's
get
the head mistress, but yet she's
Also a
teaching
teacher.
class, but then also like doing other like.
It seems I get like the
and
small.
the boyfriend was a counselor. He
Counselor.
I
Yeah.
thought he was the
counselor of some
principal,
sort.
but then I'm like, wait, she's the head
Yeah.
mistress. So what the fuck?
So
Because
the
he
whole-
seemed like he had more
His head
responsibility.
mistress.
And the LL
Yes,
Cool J,
Mario.
great, more than a cameo. I mean, he had a pretty serious role at one point. But the one security guard, he's like, "Where were you? I was checking the perimeter. There's only one of me.
Which is hilarious.
How am I supposed
Right.
to man
What
the
was I
gates
supposed
and march our fortified perimeter here?"
So, because you brought LL Cool J up, I want to talk about this for a second. In this movie, and then there's another movie he's in the following year, he has the same role of being a guy there in the background doing stuff, but also dying, but then coming back at the end.
What movie is it?
What
Deep
movie?
Blue
Am I-
Sea.
okay, she got it.
That was my
Yep,
that was my
that
feeling.
was
Yeah.
it. How funny is that? He's playing the same character. Let's be
Right.
real. The same thing
I
happens.
talked about that movie earlier too, because Carrick was like, wasn't it like he was randomly in some other? And
He
I
was
was
a
like,
cook.
Yeah.
I was like,
Like-
yeah, he was a cook. He had a bird. It was a shark movie. I don't want to talk about it any further than that.
Is that movie
But,
trauma?
like,
Does that cause trauma?
oh, like
Yeah.
That movie's
It just further
the fact
added
that
to
they
the fear.
chose to take like, we can't call them an apex predator because by definition they are not. But like you literally chose to take one of the most terrifying things that live out in the water and make them smarter
But they
to
had-
try to cure
Alzheimer's.
cancer.
No, Alzheimer's.
I thought it was
Oh,
cancer.
it's Alzheimer's.
It's Alzheimer's.
Whatever.
And they had to do it because the shark is the only one that has whatever they were grabbing from
Okay,
the
okay,
brain,
okay,
and they
cool.
have to make them smarter to make more of it or something.
Yes.
I can't
You're
remember.
increasing their brain size for like the
They
it's like the
literally-
plasma.
Something, whatever, right?
They
so they had to do
designed
it.
their doom.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
their
that's-
They took
demise.
the perfect killing machine
Let's be
and made it
real.
worse.
and made it better.
The same thing as Jurassic
well,
Park, right? Like
arguably-
you're
Yeah.
playing God, and
Arguably
you shouldn't
better.
be. Speaking of playing God, Michael Myers is trying to be God in this movie. Wait, what?
I mean,
No,
he's
not.
choosing who dies. So.
You're right.
Can you remind me what is the why is Michael Myers being Mike? What is the goal? Just to murder the family and
So-
her? I can't remember the
So
original.
pretty much. So he's not all there. Obviously,
that
I'm
makes
not
sense.
trying to say that in a bad way.
No,
'cause,
obviously
he's got a little bit of the tism, I believe. I said it. Yes.
Real quick before we keep going, because I was trying to figure this out earlier, and even when I was Googling, I was having trouble nailing it down. I distinctly remember watching one of the Halloweens where it showed him younger.
So those are the Rob Zombie ones.
Which one was that?
So it was Halloween.
But like which? But it wasn't the original. So like which? Where
it
is
was
that
Halloween.
in the?
It's not. So okay, this is why it's really hard to comprehend the Halloween saga because there isn't really a straight saga.
No, because in the first one they don't actually show his childhood, right? Like
No.
the original, they just kind of talk about it.
He's not even. They're not even brother and sister in the first movie. But it comes out in the second movie that they are.
That's why he.
But then also, so you have, okay, you have Halloween 1, you have Halloween 2. Then they
Okay.
go off and they do some other whatever
Stuffs.
Halloween movies. Then they stopped, and then they came back with Halloween H20.
to bring it back to the family line.
But Halloween H20 disregards every other movie besides.
and there was a 3 or 4 in between.
That's what I'm
2
saying.
and this one.
Yeah, yeah.
Jesus.
So they
Christ.
disregard
Okay.
every movie besides Halloween 1 and 2. I think they might. No, yeah, 1 and 2. So H20 takes place after Halloween 2. The Rob Zombie story has nothing to do with the original Halloween movies. He's making his
Just
own.
Even
Halloween
though it is
movie.
essentially that story, though.
Correct, but it's his own thing because Laurie Strode, Jamie Lee Curtis is not in those movies.
No, she's not. But
The newer movies that just came out, that trilogy, Halloween, Halloween Ends, Halloween Kills, and Halloween Ends,
haven't seen
that
it.
takes place
think.
after the first movie. So that you disregard everything that has come out ever.
Even
and it's
20?
Halloween. Yep,
Even eight-
yep. It's Halloween 1978 or whatever it is, and then it's 30 years later.
But she's in.
Correct. It's the continuation of the first movie. They're not related. They're nothing to do with each
And
other.
this one doesn't exist in that story.
One does not
Even though
exist.
she
This is why I gave up
existed.
on Marvel and
Oh,
stuff.
dude, it's
Like,
so
Too
wild.
much.
Yeah,
Even
no,
though
it really
she
is.
existed in this one.
So
and
Laurie
that-
Strode
and those ones.
exists in almost everything besides the Rob Zombie movies. So those are their own entity.
Because I remember, him being a kid
Mm-hmm.
and being troubled, is what I'll call it, and him having not a great home life. His sister, a brat, a bitch, we'll call her, but also was picking up on the fact that he was an issue.
Off, yeah.
An issue. I mean, he was like killing animals.
Oh, yeah,
and,
yeah.
and stuff.
That's how it
and
starts.
Then, and then kills his own sister, and I don't even really think he, in his mind, had justification for it. It was just she's being a bitch.
Right.
Done.
So let's paint the picture here.
Okay.
Halloween.
Yeah.
The plot of the original Halloween movie
Yep.
is 15 years after murdering his sister on Halloween night in 1963, Michael Myers escapes from a mental hospital and returns to a small town of Haddonfield, Illinois, to kill again. Okay? Laurie Strode is the babysitter in this movie.
Right.
Right. But if you continue on, she's the sister he killed
Because she was.
in the original murder spree in 1963. But she says she faked her death and continued on in this movie. H2O.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Which absolutely
yeah,
makes
change
the name
no
and stuff.
sense.
Man, that's confusing.
But if you do,
It's all confusing.
Because if you do bring together some of the other ones, those things
What a
are
babe.
in, like that doctor and stuff.
Sorry,
like
what'd you say?
What a babe.
Look, have you seen True Lies?
What a babe.
like those things. Like if you like the doctor
Mm-hmm.
and the one that he killed at the beginning of this movie that helped the other doctor and like all that, like those things are in the other
Yes.
storylines.
So Dr. Loomis is a big deal in these movies, hence why somebody's named Loomis in the Scream series. Oh. Anyways, so
Damn.
Okay.
part 2.
So he's a kid. He died. Blah blah blah. But that, even though it was his backstory, they didn't actually show it in any of the original.
They talk about it in the original movie.
But they don't show it.
They
right?
don't
They never
show a
showed
flashback to it,
Okay.
no.
So we pretend we haven't seen it, but like basically, it's what Rob Zombie fed off of was
Yes.
the story that they told about his childhood.
Correct.
Okay.
Rob
so he's
Zombie's
a child.
filling in
He's a child.
everything.
Has not a great life. Kills animals and stuff. Troubled youth. Kills his sister,
Mm-hmm.
Judith.
Judith.
Death.
Hi,
Is that who it
Judy.
is?
What was that from?
Saving Silverman.
Oh my god, yes.
Or
God
is
damn it.
Judith the
It's Judith.
Fuck, now that...
Judith?
Okay, real quick. So
So kills the sister.
yeah.
And in that story, technically, Laurie is a baby or whatever.
Sure.
Technically, if you look at, okay, so she didn't even actually know her brother, really. Then, then he comes back. He gets out 15 years later. The doctor's all, "You're stupid. Kill me now." "Okay, you don't want to kill me. So what's wrong with you?"
So you've only
But-
really seen the Rob Zombie ones then?
No, I've seen the other ones, but that's why I was trying to figure out where like.
They don't.
But
That's the problem.
But they used
But
all
they
the same
do.
things, so that's why I was
That's
trying
the
to like.
that's the confusing part is there is no real way to go through all these movies and make them all
so
connect.
frustrating. There's like not a logical,
That's-
chronological way
no.
to go through it unless you go by when they were made, but that's not how the story goes.
Correct. But that's the only. In reality, that's the way to watch them because you're coming out with release dates of you're going to know these things. Just like Star Wars, when people are like, "Oh, well, watch the episode 1 first." No, because you're not going to understand the meaning of who fucking Anakin Skywalker is.
Right.
Just some fucking dude in the desert.
You need to watch 4, 5, 6 first,
right.
then 1, 2, 3,
Right.
and then whatever
And
the
if you
hell
watch
else
the
they
first
came up
ones
with.
first, the graphics should be disappointed.
Yeah. Now that you're looking at it, fucking Jar Jar Binks. USA.
I feel like had we said that like 10 years ago, we still probably could have argued like, no, they were decent. And now you're like, no.
When George Lucas said, "You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make the best cut, and I'm going to add in a 10-minute long fucking scene in Return of the Jedi of this big lipped fucking alien singing because we need a dance number in this movie because it's boring."
Right.
That can only improve.
No, it made
cinema.
it worse
No,
because
don't
it
you
looks
think a
like
musical
shit
number-
now.
A musical number can only improve.
Halloween 2. While Dr. Loomis hunts for Michael Myers, a traumatized Laurie is rushed to Haddonfield Memorial Hospital, and the Shape is not far behind her. So the Shape is Michael Myers.
Okay.
So at this point, that's the whole thing is, and this is why I like these movies. There's no reason behind it. He's just there to kill people. Rob Zombie fucked up by showing the backstory and making him a sympathetic character for us to kind of get behind.
See, I
And
still didn't sympathize with him though.
Well, I
And
know
I think
that,
that's
but-
because
But don't do that. I don't fucking care. It's more scary when he's just a
Killer,
thing.
yeah.
The Shape. You know what I mean? Like, there's no reason for him to kill. There's no reason for him to go after a certain person, but he's doing it. You know what I mean? Like, that's fucking
That's
scary.
what makes it hard
it's
to
true
process.
though, because like why? Why do you need to kill your sister?
No, but that's what
I'm
makes
jelly.
it. Especially with the mask.
You
and
didn't
like
even
the,
know her.
That's
Right.
what makes it hard to process. Like if that was really coming, you'd be like, hold the. That's why I don't like. Like I love Halloween, but I don't like when people wear masks because I'm like, I don't know who you are, and I don't know your true intention.
Yeah.
Like it's really
Yeah.
because I can't see your eyes, I can't see your facial features. It's kind of like that uncanny feeling where you're like, you're
Well,
gonna
like
murder
when
me
he
right
approaches
now?
that first kid in the kitchen, and he's just like, hey man.
Yeah, that's what I
Like,
mean. It's so
Because
awkward.
unless you had any reason to think someone was out to
Right.
get you, why would you assume that some dude in a mask on Halloween
Yeah.
is there to actually kill you?
And those
Right.
are those like that's like the fake guidelines of society where
I
you
know,
just
right?
don't kill people.
Yeah, right.
But this guy's like, no, I'm one of them. Like I'm the killer.
I actually just want to.
Yeah, your
I just
rules
want to
don't
do
matter.
this.
Slowly, they don't matter.
You didn't do anything to me.
Can we talk
I
about-
just really don't want you to be alive.
Yes, and not only that, but using the largest butcher knife
Oh, I know.
you could like ever. I was like, they even sell them that big? Like who needs to be like ha?
You got to be cutting that meat, bro. I don't
Dude.
know. Fucking.
And I will when he stabbed. I think I only winced one time, or not wince, but just go like,
Oh, yeah, like,
ooh,
ooh, yeah.
is right when he stabs like Hartnett in the leg.
Yeah.
That was like the worst
Oh,
like
the
injury.
the whole thing.
Yeah,
went
I was
into
like,
his leg.
ooh. I was like, did he hit the artery? Like, it's the first thing I started thinking about.
Also, this movie's
Like,
not very gory.
it's not
And the blood that's in it, I even said to Tiffany while we were watching, I was like, why is it so red?
red. Yeah,
Like cartoony
Even the blood on the
red.
floor, like from the body.
Yeah. And I was
Yeah.
like, is this a comedy? Whatever. So Halloween
I
3
think
is
could
called
be.
Season of the Witch, and it has nothing to do with Michael Myers. There's a famous scene that you've probably seen.
Is he in it?
I don't even remember if I've even seen it, but I know the famous scene is somebody puts a fucking pumpkin on somebody's head, and then they die, and then they fall over, and it like very quickly like decomposes, and worms come out and shit.
Huh.
Anyways, the synopsis for that is kids all over America want silver shamrock masks for Halloween. Dr. Daniel Chalice seeks to uncover a plot by silver shamrock owner Connell Cochran.
Sure.
Sure. Sure.
Old
Is
CC.
yeah.
it's a spooky cover.
Right. So then Halloween 4 is called The Return of Michael Myers.
How can they call that movie Halloween if he's not in it? He is
because
Halloween.
it takes back on Halloween.
No,
it takes place on
He
Halloween.
is Halloween though. That shouldn't be in the
is.
franchise if it's not Mike Myers.
Well, I guess we're gonna have to watch that movie to figure it out. And we're gonna hate each other.
to.
Halloween 4, 10 years after his original massacre, the invalid Michael Myers. The invalid.
Invalid?
That's what it says. The invalid
You know
Michael
what?
Myers
True.
awakens
He
on
is
Halloween
invalid.
Eve and returns to Haddonfield to kill his 7-year-old niece. Can Dr. Loomis stop him? Because again, Laurie is not the person that's going up against Michael through all these movies. This is the first movie she fights back, which made this movie, to some people, that much better.
Yeah, I did enjoy that. She had the little gun, little pistol, little 38.
Yeah, she's not even in this movie.
So where'd the niece come from? Who's
That's
who's
the
mom?
niece.
It's his niece.
Who's her mom? Or dad?
Doesn't matter. Just like who's
It
the
kind
dad?
of does to me.
Who's
I'm
the dad in
realizing
this
just
movie?
now. Like,
Whatever. So Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael
Whatever,
Myers.
doesn't matter.
1 year after the events of Halloween 4, the Shape returns to Haddonfield once again in an attempt to kill his now mute niece.
you mean like him?
Mm-hmm.
Because he doesn't talk? Because he was traumatized? So now she's been traumatized.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't talk.
By him, and now he's about to kill him.
Halloween, the
Because
curse
he didn't succeed the first
of
time.
Michael Myers. 6 years after Michael Myers last terrorized Haddonfield, he returns there in pursuit of his niece, Jamie Lloyd, who has escaped with her newborn child, for which Michael and a mysterious cult has sinister plans.
That takes a turn. Now
This is the cult. This is the cult of Thorn or whatever. This is when that came into play.
Mm-hmm.
Where they
So-
decided he's can't die until he kills his whole family or whatever.
Correct. So now, after that movie, H20 comes out.
Man,
Here's finally the plot synopsis. You see what I did here to get us to it?
Man, that was a good build.
Look at that. H2O.
I think she's thoroughly upset though.
Laurie Strode, now the dean of a Northern California private
a
school
dean, is she?
with an
Okay.
assumed name, must battle the Shape one last time as the life of her own son hangs in the balance.
So does her son know that that's not her real name? Like he knows she was traumatized by an
Yeah, he
incident,
did.
but does
He
he
did.
know
Yeah, he did.
why I missed completely?
It was
missed that.
it was in the beginning in the kitchen. They were kind of talking about it. Like he made a comment, like that nobody knows your name. Even.
Yeah, he's
I
like,
see.
and he's like he's dead. You saw
Right.
him burn in the fire.
Exactly. So then after this, there's a movie that is one of the worst movies of all time. It has
Worst?
the
Worst.
best rapper of all time in it. Say it for me.
Was it Busta Rhymes?
It is Busta.
It was a young Busta.
It was.
This is
So
which
this is
one?
Halloween Resurrection. 3 years
What
after
year
he
was that?
last terrorized his sister,
Where are we now? What
Michael
year is that?
Myers confronts her again before traveling to Haddonfield to deal with the cast and crew of a reality show which is being broadcast from his old home. This is 2002.
Now that sounds like a comedy.
Now this has actually a really good cast in it. You got Busta Rhymes, which come on, Sean Patrick Thomas from fucking Save the Last Dance.
Yeah.
We got. She's not who I thought she was, so I'll take that back. Katie Sackhoff from a whole bunch of sci-fi shit. She was just in The Mandalorian. She was Bo-Katan.
Oh,
Anybody? Yeah. We also got Thomas Ian Nichols from American Pie, or Rookie of the Year,
Classic.
or Kid in King Arthur's Court.
That's a good one too.
We also
You said
got
Funky Butt Lovin'.
Ryan Merriman. Do you remember him? He was in a bunch of Disney Channel original movies. He was in Luck of the Irish. He was
Oh,
the
he was the
main
basketball
guy.
kid. I'm
He was
looking
the
at his
basketball
face.
kid,
You can't see their faces. He was
Yeah.
the basketball.
He was also in
No, I can't
the
see their
Mermaid
faces.
movie where he turns into the 13th year. He was
Yeah.
the mermaid,
Went
the
on
kid.
his 13th birthday.
You remember that?
Merman.
So that was him.
Was he Smart House too, or was that a different kid?
That was him as well.
Smart House.
And then what was the Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off or something? I think he was in that as well. It was a baseball movie in which he was also like a chef, and then he had to pick between being a chef and being a baseball player. And his
Baseball
dad,
player.
of course, wanted to be a baseball player. His mom
wanted
said,
to be a
"You
chef.
do who you want to do."
Do what
Right.
makes you happy.
Exactly. We also got Tyra Banks in there. Jesus Christ. I mean, that's pretty. I mean, it's pretty.
So
good.
in Jamie Lee Curtis' character in this
She's still the sister, and she's still Laurie Strode. But this movie's like
this one's before.
no. It takes place
Halloween
after H20. This is the
So now we're
the
back
sequel.
in order in a timeline.
Correct. So this one takes place after that, but it's not Michael Myers. It's him reincarnated into another body. At least that's how they say it. After this, I believe, what comes after this? It might be the last one before Rob Zombie's shit. I think.
There's so many.
There's 13.
I think that is the last one because this would have been. This is 90. Or sorry, that's 2002, and then the Rob Zombie ones were what 2007. So yeah, that would be it.
What about the new ones?
That's okay. Those ones came out. So Halloween was 20.
Those aren't Rob, are they?
2018. No, they're not.
So they're back to the.
Yeah, that was David Gordon Green was involved with that. And then Halloween Kills and then Halloween Ends. Those are like back-to-back years. But they're all
she's in
not.
those.
Yeah. So those are literally after the first movie only.
Right. So
But they don't specifically say it. You just need to figure it out.
I got it. I know the timelines.
okay, I'm gonna ask you next time you're on.
Yep.
Okay.
Don't worry.
So I was going to say, before the reels do fall off, please check us out on our social media pages. I think the wheels might have already come off.
We've still been talking about.
You're right.
It has just been a rabbit hole of Halloween.
Yeah,
We're not off book or off page here.
we're not.
We're always off book.
She needs more information. I can tell she wants more information.
I don't know that I
But I can't put anything.
can have any more.
Yeah,
Like
exactly. I can't process it.
it's
There's
too
only one.
much.
There's only one way to do this, and that's to go down the rabbit hole of watching every single movie in the release order,
and
then making notes and cliff notes, and then circling back to where you got to be, and then throwing it all against the wall when you get to Halloween Kills and then Ends, because you're like, this is the worst fucking shit I've ever seen in my
and I
life.
can tell you, I'm not gonna do all that.
I should,
I know.
I should
there's
tell the
no-
story
there's
by
no-
starting at the end.
Right.
And then telling pieces
then-
in the and then going at the beginning.
And then at the end, you all look at each other like, well, this could have been done in 5 minutes. Jesus Christ. Where to watch Halloween H20?
What is that from?
Other guys. That's the end where they're interviewing David. What's his name in his penthouse?
It's hilarious.
What is his name in that movie?
David.
I
David
keep wanting to
something.
say Lindhagen, but that's from
Yeah.
the other.
He was in a lot.
Lindhagen.
Steve
I
Coogan.
love that we all have
Yeah,
buzzwords
yeah.
because, like, dude, you said bodies earlier, and I was like, so the guys on the morgue can identify
yeah,
our
but-
bodies. That was the first thing that popped in my head. I'm like, God, these buzzwords are so bad.
Death Shrouds.
Yeah, dude.
Steve Coogan was in a lot of movies for like 5 years and then disappeared. So think about Tropic Thunder. There was Hamlet 2 that he was in, starring in. You remember that? Terrible. Obviously,
Well, the fucking. Oh my god,
This Is the End. Was he not in that?
was he?
Might have been like a bit part in that, maybe. I feel like I can see fire behind him. Maybe that's just him blowing up in Tropic Thunder. I don't know. But yeah, he was just in a lot of stuff and then just disappeared.
Right.
Very
That's
weird.
Really weird.
Where to watch Halloween H2O, though? If you have a subscription to AMC Plus, This is the first time we've ever mentioned that on this podcast.
I didn't even know it existed.
You do now. You can watch it on there. I'm sure the 6 other people that have a subscription to that is like, yeah, I know. Where to pay for it if you want to rent it or buy it: YouTube, Philo, Google Play, Apple TV, Redbox, Vudu, and Amazon. What did you guys have to pay to watch this?
$3.99.
Yeah, $3.49. Now plus tax is $4.23.
Ooh.
Amazon.
Oh,
I watched mine on Amazon too. I think it was $3.99.
Yeah, but when you get the actual charge on the card with tax and everything,
No,
it's
but you
like
said
$4.
$3.49.
Oh, maybe it's right.
Maybe mine was.
They raised the price. That's all I know.
It was under $4.
semantics, 50
But then
cents.
it's over $4.
But I was thinking, I was like, man, this used to cost more than going to the movies because we were talking about the
Yeah,
dollar
yeah,
theater.
yeah.
And I was like, but wait a minute, I had to get in my car. Then I got to drive a place, pretend to be normal.
I don't like that. I don't like that
No,
one.
no, shaking.
Right.
You people.
Also, though, when are you going to watch this in theaters, right? Like
Right.
this movie, yeah, you know.
Hey, excuse me, you guys have the Halloween? Which
Halloween?
one?
Which one?
The water one.
20? Sir, they've only made 13. No.
H2
820. The 20
What if-
one.
We should like ask someone like, what do you think this movie's about? Just Halloween, H20, and they're like, maybe like Halloween in a water park.
Yeah.
Like,
Yo.
terrifying
Halloween
slides.
versus Aquaman.
Why has no one made a horror movie in a fucking water
Wait,
park?
so I'm glad you brought this up. I watched a clip the other day. Supposedly, there's this movie or it's a short film where there is killings at a water park, and someone put swords through the tube, and then 3 girls went down, and
That's
they
wild.
counted
Was a
it.
water
They-
park?
Yeah, because
They
like
came out in
a guy's
pieces.
at the bottom and he's getting dripped on, and he looks up and he sees
Oh.
the thing. Maybe this was a crazy dream, but
Wait,
I'm pretty
okay.
sure I watched the video.
Well, you're onto something. It
Because
was
he
a
was like,
dream.
no, don't go down. Everyone's like, I've been waiting 20 minutes.
Right,
So, like,
yeah,
everyone's,
yeah,
he's
yeah.
like, but you're going to die.
But you're gonna die.
But
So
yeah.
there actually was a movie that is, it's not really a horror movie. So Piranha 3DD, I think is what it was. So
Piranha,
it's the
double D's.
yeah. So they did that in a fucking water park, but obviously it's not a horror movie,
Right.
but it's a
Well,
gore
no,
it's a gore movie because there's a lot of gore in that, but also the 3DD part too. A lot of the D's.
Have you?
double
I had
Ds.
to look up because I wanted to make sure I got the name right. Have you guys seen the trailers for this movie, Friday Night at Freddy's?
Yes,
So it's not Friday Night at Freddy's.
it's Friday.
Is it just Friday at
Five Night.
Five Nights at
Yes.
Freddy's?
Five
Because
Nights at
you have to
Freddy's
stay
is
there or whatever.
It's a cult classic video game that's been going
Yeah.
on for the last 20
Right.
plus
It's
something
It's
years.
like a jump scare game.
Yeah,
right?
it's on Peacock for free if you have Peacock.
the movie.
Yeah. You don't have to go to the theater.
yeah, I have Peacock. That's where I saw it. Where like he's got to stay there, like that's his job, or that's the
Security
gig
guard.
he's got to be there.
Yeah, and the thing I like about it, it's my man from Future Man,
Yeah, Josh something.
Hutcherson.
Matt
Hutcherman.
Lillard, I think, is in it. too.
Matthew Lillard's in it for like 5 minutes. I've heard mixed reviews
Scream.
on it. We're gonna get another Scream thing here in a second, but I've heard mixed reviews on it. I'm gonna watch it because I'm a horror guy. It's PG-13, so it can't be gory, but
Lame.
it's got what I like. It's got practical effects in it, so all the puppets are practical. They're not CGI, even
That's
though
cool.
they kind of look like it. I'm sure they're beefed up a little bit by it, but I'll watch it.
Do you know what it made me think of though?
Willy's Wonderland.
Yes, it
Because that was
did.
made exactly from that video game.
It made me think of
What's
that
the- that's
to
a movie?
where I was even like, are these supposed to be connected in some way?
oh, yeah.
but
okay, no. In
theory,
Theory,
they're not
yeah.
actually, but like because that was based off of this
so,
concept.
So Willy's Wonderland is starring Nicolas Cage in probably his best role since The Prisoners of the Ghostland.
No, this was better. That was better.
He doesn't
and I
speak.
think Prisoners was after.
Yeah, it was.
it?
He doesn't speak a single word in this movie, but yet he is really good. And it's basically like, think of Chuck E. Cheese has closed down,
Right.
but yet spirits have gone
They're
into the
haunting
robots.
the animatronic.
And for
things.
whatever reason, these people, like these younger kids, are like, "Hey, we got to go in here because we want to check this place out," and it's been condemned for like years.
Yeah, there's like graffiti all over
And
the doors.
I
are
don't
all,
remember why
like,
Nicolas
boarded up.
Cage was there.
I don't remember.
He was just driving by or something and had to take a piss or some shit.
Yeah, I don't remember how he got inside. Like maybe somebody was
How old
like,
is it?
"Help! You gotta."
Probably like 2018.
yeah, it was.
Something like
it
that.
was
It's newer.
It's in the last few years.
Actually, it might be newer than that. Anyways, it's worth a watch. It's fucking stupid,
Wi-
but
Willie's?
it's worth
Wild-
it. Got what? Willy's Wonderland,
Willy's Wonderland.
which sounds like a completely different
2021.
place. 2021. There you go. Would you go to a place called Willy's Wonderland? What if it was
Especially if
X-rated?
it's
Sorry.
His car broke down.
Oh, okay, sure. Right by it.
And he agrees to clean an abandoned family fun center
That's
in
what it
exchange
is.
for repairs for his car. But then while he's in there, these kids also like
Oh, that's right.
show
They're
up and
gonna
break in.
reopen it. That's what it was, and it had been shut down for a while.
And
That's
these
right.
kids
Yeah,
break
yeah, yeah.
in at the same time. He's also so they don't see him.
Correct.
He's in the building somewhere doing the repairs or doing the cleaning, and the cleaning that he's doing, even like this place looked like had raves and stuff in it. Like it was just like
It was nasty.
either that or these things have been coming alive. And
partying.
And again, he speaks no words.
I don't. I think that's true. I don't even think he
He
says.
might- he
maybe
grunts.
at one point says like, yeah, or something.
It's
But like,
it's worth a watch. So, Halloween H2O is written by Robert Zappia and Kevin Williamson. Kevin Williamson, who has an uncredited write on this movie, is the man who wrote Scream.
why on credit?
Because he was doing writing after the fact, or so basically this is his original story for this movie, and they've changed it so much that they're uncrediting him from it because it's
Because he
completely
technically
different.
because they changed too much. of
But
it or
then, while they were filming, Jamie Lee Curtis and the director were talking and saying basically like, hey, all his ideas are the best ideas, and they ended up doing most of
whatever.
them.
Yeah.
But the ending that Kevin Williamson really wanted had to do with like a helicopter chase and all this other shit, and Michael's head getting chopped off that way with the helicopter rotors, and it's almost like, we can't fucking do that.
Right.
That's too much. But could have been cool. So then they decided, we're going to, instead of, hey, Laurie grabbed a gun, also driving, and she keeps looking in the back seat for what seems like 10 minutes, and he's not moving, but then he's moving. Then she's watching him move while still driving. In reality, she could have just grabbed the gun and went, "Paka!"
Right.
No, we're going to stop short, have him shoot out the fucking car. Then instead of her picking up the gun and going, haha, no, we're going to run into him and then off this fucking cliff.
Actually, I'll go back even further. Why'd she even need to steal? Why'd she have to pull the gun on the cop and steal the van? She could have just walked up and shot him in the head while he was in the van.
100%.
Yeah. I was wondering why like she was so adamant to take the van. I was like,
And I said to Carrick, and I said, and now she's going to jail because
yeah.
Right.
not
Oh, yeah.
only did she kill
Assault
this
a police
guy,
officer.
but she pulled a gun on a
Right.
cop,
Yep.
Yeah.
stole the van. I was
No,
like,
it's
she's
okay.
going
It's
to jail.
okay. It's okay. He was trying to kill you, and that's your brother, and he's this thing. It's fine. We'll let it
And
slide.
if that wasn't Michael Myers, if that was a random police officer,
She
EMT,
murdered that guy.
You murdered
You
him.
murdered that guy.
And
Now hold on. To be fair,
they're like, oopsies daisies.
right?
What happened?
You didn't know.
How would you know?
Right. You put him. There was a mask on him. Maybe you put it on him. We don't know.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
How would this hold up in court? Jury, your
And,
Unless-
and you
unless-
couldn't even argue, oh, well, why didn't you take the mask off? She has not seen him,
She doesn't
what
even
he
know
looks like. So she has no idea what he looks like.
Also, why would they put a body in a body bag wearing a mask? They would fucking take that mask off.
I don't know, Steve.
Thank you.
There's lots of flaws to the whole
I
franchise.
don't know. Like, why are they now all of a sudden brother and sister?
And whose niece is in the other ones?
I
None
guess
of
you
them
have
had
to watch
daughters.
How many
So like
kids are there?
You got to keep the movies going.
there was him.
Is Jamie
and two
coming back for
sisters.
this one? No, fuck. All right, she's a niece now.
There was him, and he had the older sister, and Laurie was born after him. So like, who had the niece?
Who had her kid, and why is her kid not in Resurrection?
Well, Steve, she had her kid. That's how
Well, who was the
genetics
father?
work. Well, that doesn't matter.
But it
We
does
only
not
need
matter?
him for 2 seconds, but she's where he came from.
5 seconds.
like-
Come on.
5 seconds.
4 seconds.
I don't mean the whole sexual experience. I mean just the part that gets you the baby stuff.
Well, then you would need
That's
them
only
longer.
like 2 seconds.
But you still need them longer.
No, it's more than that.
A minute and a half.
Okay. What I'm saying is, for all we know,
45 seconds.
he was gone after that. We don't know.
Well, they even kind of make a thing about that when she's just like, it doesn't.
Dad
really
would
matter.
let me.
Right, and it's like, fuck your dad. He's a drug addict, whatever.
Yeah, your dad's a piece of shit. Of course he would.
Yeah.
Your dad doesn't give a shit what you do.
That's why you're here with me. Sorry.
This is directed by Steve Miner. He's also directed Friday the 13th, Part 2 and 3, Forever Young, with Mel Gibson, and Lake Placid.
That's a classic.
Awesome.
What a wild, difference of movies.
That's another one. All of those movies, the Lake Placid type movies, the Jaws type movies, the Anaconda. You can't explain a lot of those movies.
Anaconda, you can explain. It's a big fucking snake in the wood in the
In the
jungle.
jungle.
It's killing everybody.
Okay,
that
so
weird
there's
guy.
multiple of that giant one.
No,
Is that what you're
well,
explaining to me?
in
Well, at the
Anaconda
end-
the Blood Orchard, there's an orgy of massive anacondas.
Right. There's more than one snake in the world, and that snake had babies.
Not all anacondas are as big as that one.
That
and
one
that's
was
what
when it
that
had a
one,
baby.
That's a super concept.
And then
Superconda.
And then
What the
in
fuck?
Jaws,
Superconda.
it takes place in different places. So it's not the same. It does.
I know, but
So
sharks
Jaws 2.
swim.
What I'm saying is it's
Jaws
not-
2 takes place in the same place. It's Amityville Island
Yes,
still.
but then
Jaws
the
3D.
lagoon and stuff and like.
Yeah, maybe the shark was like, I want
What
to
I'm
retire to a
saying
nice
is
lagoon.
it's not the same shark. So we're just making
We gotta
up
follow
movies
this fucking riptide. And
about
everything.
sharks in general because he's not Jaws. She, whatever the fuck it was,
Look, Tara,
is not Jaws.
I'm gonna let you in on a secret. The people making these movies like one thing, and it's called money. So when Jaws was a big hit, they went, I don't fucking care how you make the second movie or how it makes sense. I didn't see that shark blow
Do you
up.
know who
Did
I
you see that
respect?
shark blow
I
up?
don't know.
Do you know who I respect?
Yeah.
Do you know who I respect?
People who actually put in time and work to make things happen.
Where's,
No.
where's the
And make
body?
it-
The
Where's the body?
creator of the Babadook, who said we're not making more of these because
want
this
you
is
to-
how the story was.
I want you to poop your pants once, and that's gonna be it. That's gonna be it.
But also, how much money did the Babadook make?
She probably doesn't care.
That's the thing. If Babadook made fucking $750 million, Blumhouse or whoever made it would have been like, I don't give a fuck what you say.
making another one.
We're making another one, and it's our fucking, well, she got lucky because she wrote the original story. She wrote the original short story or short movie.
That's
so
hers.
she had, yeah,
That's hers.
whatever. But Jaws and all these other things, like, Steven Spielberg's like, motherfucker, I'm counting my ones.
And
I'm
Jaws
going,
has
we're making more.
terrified
Billion.
the whole spectrum. Like from fucking like whatever you are, I don't know how old I was when I saw that, 10 years old, 12 years old, to like if you're 80, everyone knows.
Oh, yeah.
Jaws, and you can everyone
Dum,
everyone has a low key fear of water. As soon as you step in, you're like,
dum,
I can tell you though, I can't remember pieces of the other ones though.
Nobody does.
Like I remember
Nobody cares about
the
all the
original,
other-
but I cannot remember the pieces from any of the other ones.
And also, think about all the movies that tried to be like Deep Blue Sea, right? Like, if you made Jaws today, it
remember
has
all of
to
that
be
movie.
like the Meg, right?
yeah, it has to be.
It has to
over
be
the top.
Fast and the Furious
Yeah.
type, whatever. People aren't gonna. Oh,
That's why I
this is
never
terrible.
even watched the Meg or the Meg 2. I was
Same.
like,
I haven't.
I watched the Meg
Have
because
not
I like,
watched Sharknado or Sharknado either.
but
Which
those are
one?
supposed to be
1, 2, 3,
stupid.
4, 5, 6, 7.
None of them. This is what I'm saying.
But those are
Why-
supposed to be stupid, and that's what makes
Yeah.
those movies charming. With like the Meg and stuff,
They're
You
trying.
know who else was
Yeah.
charming?
uh,
Ted Bundy
okay,
was charming.
Is it Al Bundy?
Ted Bundy.
Oh,
So
Al Bundy was
not-
also charming.
I feel like
He's
not.
selling him shoes, and yeah,
I mean, just because charming doesn't mean
you're right. You're
a
right.
positive thing.
you ever look at that? Like how Al? Like, you ever look at the comparison of Al Bundy and now him in Modern Family? And it's like he finally caught his break. Married younger.
That's why.
But he bought a shoe business.
Yep.
Like,
There's no way they didn't do the shoe thing on purpose.
right.
Rated R.
He had a closet company.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm. If they would have kept the, they could.
Oh, I'm saying
yeah,
yeah.
he could have been the shoe
The
king.
shoe thing this is funny because it was the closet king or something, wasn't his company? He just upgraded to where the shoes are kept.
See, don't you need a
Everybody
place
has
for all
closets.
He knew. He knew how many people.
No matter what shoes you bought, you need somewhere to keep them.
Doesn't
enter.
matter the shape, the size. They're fitting in this fucking cupboard.
That's right.
Halloween H20 is rated R for terror, violence, gore, and language.
I also feel like extreme.
What?
This could be a PG-13
It
movie,
could,
Well, there's a-
except for the throat slash in the, which you don't see,
you don't
You see the
it.
second one where he does the kid in the kitchen.
right? But you don't see him get stabbed or get sliced.
Yeah, you don't actually see it. You just see
just
that
see
it
the
That
That
is
was.
that is. I will watch any type of Saw. I'll watch any type of dismemberment, but there's something about the
the
neck
neck.
because you know it's so vulnerable, like in
and
real
it's
life.
so
and it's just,
like,
hey, look at this pristine neck.
Yeah.
yeah,
right here.
mhm.
Where my lifelines are here. Like,
There
For
was-
me, it's slices in general because they're so like
yeah.
it just it's this. I know it may not make sense. It seems like that would hurt more than a stabbing or like your arm just being cut off. Like a slice on you, like that sting that you just know happens.
Well, also, like, depending upon the sharpness of said knife, you don't even know you're fucking cut.
And then you're
Correct.
just bleeding.
Right.
The only thing about I don't know if you ever had internal pain, but I could not imagine being stabbed and just being like, and you're touching it, but you're like, no, it's here. And you're like, oh my god, it's in between here. Have you ever done that before?
Yeah.
Remember the first time I hurt my back seriously, and I was like, I feel like there's a cramp. And
I was
like
about
this.
to say
and I
no,
was like,
Josh. I've never, I've never been stabbed before.
I've never been stabbed, but like I've had internal pain where it's like, oh God, this is a real problem. Like I have to go see
I've
somebody.
This is an issue.
I have stubbed my toe on many of things. And let me tell you.
Ouch.
Ouch, bro.
Ouchie.
Ouch town.
Also, your shin hitting a coffee table, the corner of that motherfucker, that's the worst pain of your life.
Do you know what's
Child pain? No. Child having a kid, nothing
even
compared
is
to.
that?
You know why? Because they'll do it again.
Yep.
They'll do it again.
Yep.
why?
I don't want to run into a fucking coffee table with my
No.
shins. I don't want to stub my toe again.
No one
but
wants
having
to,
a kid
no one
again,
chooses to do that. No one wants to do that.
If it's
not
the
that
most,
bad.
if it's the
Not
most
that
painful thing, and you're actively going, let's do it again, honey.
This is terrible.
Sorry, I'm such a misogynist on this podcast.
What's up?
We bring it out of you.
Halloween H20. I'm gonna keep saying it. Halloween Water is starring
Water.
Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode,
Water.
Josh Hartnett as John, Adam Arkin. Didn't he look like? I was like, the whole time I'm staring at this guy. I was like, I know him.
I knew exactly who it was as soon as I saw
I
him.
know, but Alan Arkin. And
Yeah,
Adam
well, his
Arkin.
name was Alan.
Was that his boyfriend?
Alan Arkin is a different person. Have you ever seen
Who
So
are
I
you
Married an
talking
Axe
about?
Murderer?
Which person are you talking about?
It's a
His- her-
great-
her-
I just watched that for the first time.
Really?
I
Oh,
don't
the
know how that snuck by
counselor.
me, but wow.
Bro.
The
Changed my
counselor.
life.
You're talking about the counselor
Mike
guy?
Myers,
I
peak
gotcha.
condition.
Woman.
Whoa,
Woman.
man.
Or the part where he's like, you know what would really make this apartment if there was a giant poster of whatever.
Yeah. Oh, you got it.
Yeah. Did you know? No spoilers for it.
He'd get the,
Oh god. But it was giant heat.
look at the size of the thing. He's like, quiet down.
You're gonna give him a kid a complex. Did you think, or like, did you piece together who you thought the killer was?
In what?
That movie.
Oh, no.
Like it just hits you, and you're like, I didn't
Yeah.
even see it. But then you rewatch it, you're like, obviously.
Yeah. It was good. I was
Yeah.
because I didn't know what to expect because it snuck through me.
Sure.
It snuck by for so long, and then my buddy was like, "You haven't seen this?" And he was like, "You quote movies all day long, and you
This
haven't
is
seen
the
this."
most quotable
Yeah.
like Mike Myers movie.
Yeah, I
too.
need to watch it again. I paid for it on Amazon.
Oh yeah, dude.
It was an expensive weekend.
Ooh. We also got Michelle Williams as Molly, Adam Hahn Bird as Charlie. Bird?
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
That's
and where
what I
is
was
he
talking
from?
about. He's from Jumanji.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw
But
him
his name
turn
was
sideways-
Alan.
Oh,
and
yeah.
That's what confused me because you said Alan.
Okay,
His name was
okay.
Alan in
Yeah.
Jumanji.
You recognize that beak anywhere.
Oh, dude. Alan.
And the freckles.
Laura didn't know. I was like, "That's a Jumanji kid." As soon as I saw him,
As soon as he came on the screen, I said to Carrick, I was like, I know that kid.
And then
I'm pretty
also-
sure that's a Jumanji kid. Like,
Also, where's he been?
yeah,
I haven't seen him in anything since. Like, I
he's
didn't.
in
his name's
Jumanji.
been gone for 30 years.
We
God,
fucking
Steve.
cracked the code. God
This
damn it.
isn't chronological.
I
Come
did.
on.
Right, you're right.
It's like-
I did see a meme the other day that said that 30 years in Jumanji doesn't sound so bad right about now.
Yeah, dude, I saw that as
I
well.
was like,
That's
wait a minute,
hilarious.
no bills? I was like, I could do this.
as many crazy things that live in the jungle, you can avoid them. Like you can
Those
avoid
size-
them.
Those spiders. All right,
I
Yeah,
mean,
I was gonna say the bugs would have been hard because they're everywhere.
one of the Jonases
like-
did forever.
Nick.
Thank you. We also got Jodie Lynn O'Keefe as Sarah. I want to make a point of this as well. She was in a shit ton of movies and then
Oh yeah,
disappeared.
in that
Is that the
time
blonde?
No, she
frame.
was the
because
one
she was
with
the mean
Jumanji.
girl and she's all that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
She was also in Whatever It Takes, which
Mm-hmm.
is, if anybody has not seen that movie, great movie. She was in another teen, Drop Dead Gorgeous.
She plays a good bitch.
Yeah. Maybe they ran out of bitches and they're like,
Drop Dead Gorgeous because that was
a pageant movie.
it was
Kirsten
Kirsten
Dunst.
Dunst.
Yeah. Kristen Dunst? Kirsten.
Kirsten Dunst. Kristen
There's so many.
Dunst?
Who knows?
the Dunst girl.
Yes, that one.
And Denise Richards
The Dunst
and
girl.
Christy Allen.
Yeah. How many Christies?
That movie
Kristens,
was
Kristens?
wild. Like I'm
Yeah, it's-
Brittany
Maybe. Yeah. She was
No,
like,
no.
yeah, I know.
Amy Adams.
Was Amy? You're right. It's
Amy Adams.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
Amy Adams because she was the cheerleader girl.
Yep. Good
And
movie.
I love my favorite part of hers in that movie is when she comes walking out and she's like, so I got third place, and her boyfriend, he's like, you got third runner up, that's fourth place or whatever. Like and she's like, oh,
Yeah. If you haven't-
or she got second runner up,
Yeah.
and she called herself second. He was like, you got third place. That's
if you've never seen that, that's another
Need to see
good.
that. Drop
yeah,
Dead Gorgeous?
Drop Dead Gorgeous.
Drop
it's
Dead
it's not
Gorgeous, yeah.
what you think it is, and then
no,
it's really good.
But it just even like the accents in the movie and the very subtle like awkward family dynamics and
So,
stuff are
I relate
like
it-
uncomfortable.
I relate it to Best in Show.
Yes, it's very one of those. What kind of They're not just comedies. I feel like they've got to be called
Like
something
drama,
else.
Like a dry comedy. I don't know how you can like a
They're almost like
cringy.
cult classic.
It's like The
vibe,
Office, but
Yeah.
a movie. Yeah.
but they like I wouldn't classify them as cult classics like one you would think, but they're like those cult classic like comedy ones where it's very like awkward and
Yeah, but if you know it
Weird.
and everyone else knows it,
yeah.
Right.
you're in there.
So we also got LL Cool J as
LL?
Ronnie.
Security guard.
Look,
Who you think dies?
but doesn't. So and it's funny when
And he gets his big
would you
idea
get
from it.
hold on, would you get knocked out by being grazed by a bullet?
There's probably shock, a lot of things.
Okay. And he also fell down, so maybe he hit his head.
And I have a really big problem with that guy because he takes the gun from Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
Like he's like, look. So then here's me turning around and fighting for women. He like takes the gun, and that guy
It's
can't
about
shoot a gun.
Bap,
Like,
bap,
yeah.
bap, 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 bap.
So there's one problem, and then two, I have this really big problem with revolvers and stuff like that. You don't shoot. You know you're limited.
Yeah.
You don't
blow that
Don't
waste
just
clip.
all
keep doing
five.
it. Don't just
Right.
keep going.
You hit him, and then you wait and see what happens.
I've thought that in multiple movies
Yeah.
where people are just like letting them go, and I'm
Yeah.
like, you know that you run out,
Yeah.
right? You're going to run out. Did you also grab other clips and ammo and stuff in the
you have any
process? Like, what are you
magazines?
doing?
That's such a that's
People
such
just
a
willy-nilly,
logical thought.
just
Yeah,
like-
no.
Carrick with some movies will count. He'll be
Yeah.
like, he was out like 2 bowls ago.
Yeah.
Like,
I like to do that, and like when there's, I don't understand why movies can't add the correct car sound or motorcycle sound. Like we
Right.
know motorcycles don't have 18 gears. Can you
Beep,
stop?
beep, beep,
Yeah,
beep, beep,
yeah,
beep, beep,
yeah,
beep.
Like
yeah.
in Terminator, he shifts
Yeah.
every 10 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm like, can you stop and just let the two-stroke
speaking
rip?
of, speaking of, now that we've gone there, I feel like it's bizarre seeing him just drive around in a car.
Who, Michael Myers?
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
isn't that weird that he escaped wherever and just got in a car and
Oh,
just started going?
Can we talk about that scene then?
I was going to say the creep was it like that woman in the bathroom. Is that the scene you're talking about? Yeah. How terrifying, and the fact that he just like he could have killed them, but he didn't.
But not only terrifying,
chose not to.
Yeah.
Chose not to.
why was this lady in 1998 driving that
Yeah,
truck?
the Jeepers Creepers truck, like just around town.
Right.
Jeepers
It's so fucking random. And then also, like, she was happy that her kid was fine and it was only a spider, but yet she's not worried that her purse is gone?
Right. That's terrifying. And their vehicle.
I mean, I feel like we don't know what that's like, but I do feel like you get more concerned with your kid than your purse.
Okay, but also, my kid's fine. Where the
I'm
fuck
just
did my purse just
I'm
go? What
just
was that? What
guessing
just
at-
yeah,
happened?
at
what
this
was
point.
that? Yeah.
But also,
I mean, she had to drive the car, so the keys were. I mean, they were in the purse.
But also, if I'm going with my kid that doesn't exist, if I'm taking him, her, the kid, into a bathroom, I'm letting the kid do their business first
You
while
double
I
stall.
watch.
You
I
double
don't,
stall.
you don't. Yeah, you don't like.
Or I stand outside the stall, the door.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Although then she probably would have died.
Okay.
Had she not been in the stall and he needed her keys and stuff, he
True.
probably would have killed her.
But also,
Had he not been able to just.
Because clearly he knew they were in there. That was his plan.
But like,
'Cause that was
why?
his
But you're
car.
right. Why not kill them? That's his MO with anything else.
Exactly.
Why not? Was it the kid?
Also, why is that even in the movie?
Yeah, it's really.
I don't know,
Like,
because also he had a car. Where'd that car go?
Oh, he fucking trashed it. But why do we need to see that?
Why did he trash it?
Maybe
did I
to
miss
show
that part?
maybe he's got empathy.
Did I miss that? For who?
They didn't show anything.
he's
They just
not-
showed that the
They're
car
not
had
related to
flat
him, so he
tires or
doesn't
whatever.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like,
He
oh,
doesn't-
this
they're not
isn't.
related.
He's
Maybe
the eyes on the prize.
Maybe okay. Now that you say that, that makes more sense. It's like I'm not just a
Or-
random killing.
I mean,
machine.
not that he hasn't killed multiple other people he's not related to, but they
Right.
were.
Or he could be thinking
Near-
logically, like, why kill these people? They'll be hot on my trail.
He doesn't think like that.
That's what
Not
I
in the
mean.
middle.
I don't
of
think
the
he
ba- Not
thinks-
in a bathroom in the middle
I
of the
think-
desert that
Right.
nobody's stopping.
I
And
think-
also, who would stop at that bathroom?
I would never. We were peeing on the side of the road.
Right.
Are you fucking kidding?
Yeah.
I got a bottle.
I don't care who
Pissing
I'm
Perks
with.
of being.
I don't
Right.
care if it's
Oh,
also Carrick and I.
Well,
I would be
depending
in the
on the
car.
size
I'd
of
be
the,
like, you have
the
fun.
opening, you can.
I'd
Women
be like,
can
you have fun in that killer
gotta get
clown
those
infested
Gatorade-
building that you're about to walk into.
2-liter
No, thank
Gatorade
you.
bottles. They got the big holes.
We have to stop.
Whatever. We also got Joseph Gordon-Levitt in here as Jimmy.
know,
I want
with
to talk
his
about
hockey
this.
stick.
I want to talk about this kill for a second.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see the length of the blade in his fucking
Oh,
head?
yeah.
It was like that.
Yeah.
That's not
That was,
real.
Yeah, that was a good jump.
Yeah.
That was a good jump scare too.
Do we
But
think-
if you think about it, that's a lot of force.
You ain't killing somebody with a hockey skate. It's not a knife.
It's just a cool.
I feel like
Yeah.
not true and poor timing
hold-
to discuss.
I know, right?
Okay,
that.
hold on. You're not killing someone like that.
Yeah.
If you're going to use it
Impale.
as a slashing
But we all
thing.
know now what I'm
R.I.P.
talking about, right?
R.I.P. Former Pittsburgh
holy,
Penguins.
Holy shit.
Yeah, has anybody seen the actual video?
No, I don't want to. I know that it's out there, and I'm choosing not to find it.
No,
I don't
saw
want to
the
see it.
original goalie video.
Yeah,
Good.
Clint Mahal.
I just told you how
Mahal-Truck or whatever.
terrified of my neck I am.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, and yeah.
It's yeah.
Now, it is a freak accident. You would think it would happen more in a
I've
sport.
definitely read the play-by-play of it. I just don't. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it.
You remember when Richard Zednick got it?
Oh yeah.
So when he was in the Florida Panthers,
Yes.
I was
That was when
watching
the
that
heel
game.
came up, right?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
watching
Oh
that
my
game.
god, his name has neck in it.
Richard Zednick. That's Zednick, but whatever. He got nicked.
Dead neck.
God, it's like, and the other guy just took a skate to the eye like
It's-
4
Yeah,
days
yeah,
ago.
yeah.
It's That's. I mean,
I'm not saying neck guards are the answer because they're not. Because actually, people proved that neck guards provide like a guideline, like a guide for a
Once
blade.
it hits it, it grabs it. Yeah.
So like, I'm glad those are there, but I really feel like
It's a freak
they should
accident.
have an option to wear a full cage. Like especially with how just competitive the league is. And I get it, you have to have the FaceTime, you have to have the picture, because no one knows who hockey players are anyway.
Yeah. So why does it matter?
Yeah, like
Fucking cover 'em.
Tyler Sagan had to show his own picture to the
was
security guard to
hilarious.
get into his
I
own
saw that.
arena.
I saw
Right.
that.
Like no one
Trust
knows
me.
who hockey players are unless they have a jersey on, which is what something
Also,
I
he
really
was like
truly
laughing
hate, by
at
the
it, which
way.
I feel like someone who
Yeah.
was a douchebag would have been like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
No,
like,
So that's a good thing to have.
But it's, that's a
Yeah,
hockey
yeah.
guy thing. It's like I know no one knows who I am.
Right,
If
and
you saw,
yeah.
unless you see like like
your team, like the people that you follow and
yeah,
stuff.
but not
like,
even that. If you were to see like I've seen Carlson and like just walking around before when I was at work, and I was like, holy fuck, that's hey man. Like it takes you a second to even
Oh,
process.
I wouldn't be like a. Oh my god.
Yeah, no,
well,
which is
no,
why-
I mean,
If
Tom
it was
Wilson
Tom
walked
Wilson,
by.
yeah, you know. The one thing I do want to say though is this is a cultural or a country thing too.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
flip the script. If you're in Canada, everybody knows who you are.
Correct.
Fair, yeah.
Right. Even if
we
you're
just have
whatever,
sports
yeah.
that are a little bit more like elevated.
Correct.
So hockey isn't at the same. Football is probably ours to what hockey. Like you might, people who really follow football know like all the fucking guys, and
Oh,
if
yeah,
they
yeah.
would probably freak out if they saw them in person. I cannot name a football player that I would
Freak out
Just
about.
former Redskins.
maybe Travis
Clinton
Kelce.
Portis.
Transitioning back, I did like the confidence of the stick that the confidence the stick gave him.
Yes.
Well, I
How-
think there
what
could be a
teenager-
killer in there.
Yeah, what
He's
a
like,
teenager move.
what did he say? I have been known to,
Right,
you
right.
know,
I
get
rack
a
up
little.
some Pims.
Right. Yeah.
And not only
was
that, but
funny.
how great was him stealing 2 beers? He's
Yeah.
like, I got me and my boy.
It looks
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
it looks like they went through your kitchen.
Yeah,
too.
he's
like,
like,
messed up your
she was
kitchen.
gonna
Kitchen pretty
notice. Messed up your kitchen pretty bad and took your beer.
Oh my god, that was great.
Well, also we do know that Michael can read and write, well, at least read, because he found the folder that says her name on it. Unless that's the only
Someone
name.
taught him how to read and how to drive.
Yeah.
so.
I mean, does he have a license?
No,
How do you know that?
that's true. No one knows what he looks like.
Right,
But
he
he'd
might-
have to have documentation to get a license.
His picture, his license picture.
But
Sir, can you take the mask
here's-
off? And
so
he just pulls
That's
his
what I was going to
mask
say
down.
earlier, though. Do you know how many things he could be getting away of without the mask on?
Yeah, you're
because
right.
no one knows what he looks like.
That's the whole point.
He could
too,
just take the
right?
mask off and go live a normal life.
Yeah.
He chooses not to.
So you know how
He's
Scream,
just like-
you know how
That's the whole
Scream
point.
does the thing of, well, not to spoil anything, but obviously in most movies it's not the same killers, right?
Right, they're
So
copycats and stuff.
why
like,
wouldn't Michael have that same thing? Why wouldn't they do that in these movies? Like, it's a
because he's
copycat.
supernatural, Steve.
But is he?
Apparently, because of the curse of the thorn or whatever the fuck it is.
No, we don't know because
His
that
head's
is that
just-
movie even
His
canon?
heads just grow back. Like,
You're right. Last person of note who is in this movie, Janet Leigh as Norma. So that's the old lady. Does anybody recognize her from anything?
Oh, the
wait,
nurse.
which old lady?
She's the nurse.
Which
oh
old
no,
lady?
the secretary.
The secretary.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, the secretary.
I couldn't tell you what movie. she's
Forgot
been in.
about her just now until you said that. Like that whole conversation and those conversations happened. No.
So that is Jamie Lee Curtis's mother,
Okay.
and also the person who gets killed in Psycho in the shower.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, I did know that her mom was that, but I did not. I mean, I wouldn't have known by seeing.
Now,
her.
there's also, I'm going to get to in my fun facts, but there's also a couple of lines she has in this movie that directly go to that. And then also, there's something that she might be standing in front of that's also from Psycho.
Was it the car?
Maybe.
Hey, can someone explain to
Hey.
me, because I haven't watched all of the movies, all the Halloween movies. Like I said, I've seen snippets and I've definitely seen the Rob Zombie, at least one of the Rob Zombie ones. Can someone explain to me the significance of the Mr. Sandman song?
I don't know.
Do you guys know?
No. But it
Okay.
is in a lot of the movies.
I need to look it up then because
It's a great
because
song.
I didn't look it up because I was like I don't want to
December.
accidentally see something else. But like she definitely like when the song came on, she kind of looked at it like, of course, this song.
It might be something that's playing during the original movie. I don't know. If Wally was here, he would tell us, but he's not.
I'm gonna have to look
Okay.
because I'm curious. It immediately made me think of Nightmare on Elm Street though because I was like, is this just like a
That would
calling
make sense,
to?
yeah.
But I didn't know if I just didn't. I had just missed what the connection was.
I do like the scene where she's like, "Oh, and also Happy Halloween,"
Yeah.
and she just stops. Just runtime, 86 minutes.
It's a baby
Perfect.
movie.
This movie is quick.
Not
but,
even an
but
hour and a half.
Also, it takes fucking forever to get going,
Does. And then once it starts, you're like, oh shit, I can't get up.
and then it's done.
Yeah.
It's also because there are a lot of. I don't like when movies jump right into a lot of stuff. We talked about that when we did like Evil Dead Rise, where like it was kind of, and I
The
don't
most
just mean
intense opening
I don't just
scene.
mean
I'm
that
telling
I
you.
don't. Well, I was gonna say I don't just mean the intro, but I mean when you actually
You don't
get to
need
the
hair.
story that
What?
you're supposed to be watching. It's only what like maybe 15, 20 minutes before shit just starts like going nuts.
In Evil Dead Rise.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
yeah.
once she gets to the
Yeah,
apartment,
barely
and
even.
and with some movies like that, I feel like it works. Like not like a quick
All right.
like
That movie gets me.
Oh,
jump
okay.
to
I
like
was
what
like,
happens. But a lot of the movies like this one, I feel like it's almost eerier because you know you're watching a scary movie.
So and you're waiting,
So you're waiting.
and nothing's happening.
Like, because there were multiple times where, like, they were showing, like the girl in the kitchen when she was like, okay, and the thing comes down, she's
Yeah.
like, what's in there? And I was like, oh my God, is there gonna be a dead body in there already? No, it wasn't. It was stupid flowers and a little map. And then I was like, well,
was cute.
the map isn't leading her to be killed because I don't think I don't think Mike, like, has that, like,
yeah, he didn't
plot
do
in
that.
his
But
head.
he also
So
then
then-
did kill her because
but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I kept waiting for, well, she didn't die.
Oh, sorry, that
doesn't
was a
die.
different
The
girl. That was
blonde
a
Yeah,
different
she
girl.
didn't
Sorry,
die.
sorry.
But I kept, like, there were things where I kept waiting for, like,
Right.
and it didn't until
Well, and that's what I do. Like because when it does happen, you're like, ooh, like I did like do that a couple times.
you get like
right?
at least halfway through the movie before
Yeah.
he even. I mean, besides obviously the very very beginning, but like in their story,
Yeah.
like it's like halfway into the movie before he like
That's what I
kills
enjoyed.
anybody.
That's what I enjoyed the most about the Scream movies. It just starts.
Yeah, it's
Like,
it's
when-
all.
as soon as it
let's
starts,
go.
you're like, I can't get up. Like
Yep,
you have to
you're in
watch.
it.
I didn't touch my phone once in Scream 3.
Wow. Do you think you like that one the best?
I did.
So it's
You
funny.
said 4 is the best, right?
I think personally 4 is
I haven't gotten to
is
that
a
one.
is a good
Which one was the first new one? 5?
5.
And so now we have 5 and 6 from like the new.
So 4 was supposedly being the newest new thing that they were going to do, but that is like 10 years after Scream 3, and it has. I'm not going to spoil anything
do
because
it.
Oh,
I want you to go in
Yeah.
super
You don't have
whatever.
to.
But it does the thing that a lot of these movies did, which is grab new and upcoming people.
Right.
And that's why I really like Scream. If you
Yeah.
notice in Scream 3, even who's all in it. Like
Yeah.
you're like, wow, this person, this person, this person. Scream 3 is the lowest rated Scream movie.
Really? I thought the twist was fucking awesome.
Yeah. So everybody hates it. I liked it. And I like the whole stab thing where
Yep.
it's like they're making the movie and everything. I think it's really good.
I like the stab. I kind of it makes it now like when I see the mask, I'm like, oh, stab.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think of
Exactly,
Scream. I'm like
right.
stab. Like,
Now, another thing that people didn't like about that is them retconning her mom to be like, oh, she had this huge backstory where
Right.
it really didn't matter.
it didn't matter, but for him it did.
Well, yeah, and then they had to because that's
Yeah.
the whole story. And then there's one thing I don't like about it, and I don't know if you caught this. It's he helped plan Billy and Stu in the
Yes.
original.
That's
I
what-
don't know
that-
if I
I was
liked
like-
it.
But it's, I think it's
Yeah.
how he breaks it down.
Yeah,
Which one was the first one that Hayden was in? 4?
Hayden
Panternio.
Panettiere.
Panettiere?
Yes, 4. And that's
4?
what I
Okay.
wasn't trying
So
to
I think
tell
I've
them that.
seen 4.
Okay.
But
Man.
it was like when it came out. So like I don't hardly remember anything about
Cool.
it.
Don't
but-
say
I
anything.
think
wanna
I
go in
paused it.
fresh.
I think I paused it when he said that. He's like you had to, and they have to convince him to have some dumb best friend,
Yeah.
and you kill him too. And I was like, hold
Yeah.
on, he did do it. I
Yeah.
was like,
So like I'm half and half with that. I'm like, okay, that's a cool idea, but
Yeah.
but
and the
does
tropes,
it really
But
work?
the subtle tropes were cool
Yeah.
in this one. Like, definitely miss Jamie Kennedy in the. I couldn't believe how fast he died. In
Oh,
this.
dude.
that was very depressing.
that was a shitty.
Great,
you don't really
great
see it.
murder.
Yeah.
Great murder, but shitty.
Well, and then like in this one, as far as like newcomer, I think wasn't this Josh Hartnett's first film?
First movie.
This
First
was?
actual movie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he did good.
They didn't. You could have taken him out of this movie and put him right in the faculty, and nothing changed.
Bro.
Same exact haircut, the feathered,
Yeah.
the light feathered off the
Like,
ears.
and
He
out the
probably
back a
literally
little bit,
was
like, messy
filming
back.
these at the same time.
Yeah.
Shit, when did the faculty come out? It had to been
right near it,
around
right?
there.
I would
This
assume
was
this is
when?
98. Well,
Was it-
we're about to get to it, but
It was funny because Laura was frying his haircut, and I was like, "That was
yeah.
that was like
That was
pre-emo.
that was
like
it
that was
then,
like
yeah.
that was like
He
grunge.
goes a little longer, it's
What a-
emo. Like
yeah.
if he grew on a little longer.
the faculty was written by Kevin Williamson as well.
Oh wow, man, that guy's
Wow.
on fire.
Do you
Yeah.
think he went, I liked this kid. Let's
Oh my god, I forgot Brewster was in that.
Dude, there's a lot of
Love
people
her.
in that movie. Fucking Famke Jensen too.
That's another one I haven't seen.
Selma
The Faculty
Hayek's in
a
it.
long time.
Fucking Jon Stewart.
Jon
He's a teacher.
Stewart.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They get stabbed, and you're like,
Yeah. What a great movie. Anyway, so released on, this pisses me off a little bit. August 5th, 1998.
This? Why?
Oh.
How do you release a Halloween movie? It's called Halloween.
When were the other ones all released?
Oh, god damn it. You're going to make me do it.
Well, I can't because I'll see stuff.
Halloween movie.
Don't look, just in case.
Release dates. Oh, God.
how would you not?
Okay, Halloween, the first one, October 25th, 1978.
Okay.
Oh, good
Why
market.
wouldn't you,
Good
though?
job, marketing team.
Then
You
October.
shouldn't have to think about this, you know? Like,
Right, and then October 30th, 1981, October 22nd, 1982, October 21st, 1988.
August.
Then there's a whole bunch of August. There's a August 31st, 2007, August 5th, 98, what we just did, August 28th, 2009, September 29th. I'm okay
September's
with
okay.
I'm okay with September
Getting
29th,
there.
October 13th, and then
Okay.
July 2nd for 2022 or 2002.
why at some point did they go, this might be a summer flick?
Yeah, I don't know.
Don't
Because
get it.
Scream and them were releasing them too. I really
It's
don't know.
literally called Halloween.
But see, I can get away with Scream because exactly, I can get away with Scream because it's just a horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
Same
It doesn't need to be Halloween. Yeah.
Right.
This is literally
This
called
movie is called Halloween.
Halloween.
So it better be released
Halloweenkies.
at least the
Happy
last week
Halloween.
of September
What,
or
what a bunch of
the first week
Halloweenies.
Yeah, fucking retards. All right. Top
Har,
10
har.
Steve.
that week. This is the best top 10 I think I've ever
I'm
seen.
excited.
Stop looking at it.
I
Number
can't be
10.
on
You're
this.
terrible.
It's the ADD. You can't. That's like putting something in front of me. You don't even read the cover. You just go back to like the 8th page. Like,
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna start putting like a big space in between this, so I can be looking at this before we
scroll
get to yeah.
No, you
Actually,
gotta
I
get
could
like
do
the,
that.
like
I
I'm gonna
the
could
have
do
a
that.
reps.
privacy screen next time I come.
Yeah.
You gotta get like the refs have, like where it's
Oh, the
like
the
blinders
box
on
box
yeah.
around it. I got it. Okay. Number 10,
Okay.
Lethal Weapon 4.
Classic.
Okay.
It's really good. Mel Gibson,
Believe you.
Danny Glover,
Danny Glover.
You're gonna get mad at me.
Chris Rock,
Getting too old for this shit.
my cousin Vinny.
You can keep going. That's not his real name, but it's okay.
I can't think of his name.
I haven't seen
Any of the Lethal Weapon
not
movies.
one.
You're missing out on life.
Not one.
Do you like Rush Hour?
This is where
Same
Rush Hour, This is
movie.
Rush Hour was birthed.
I've
yeah.
seen all of the
Same
Rush Hours.
movie, but better.
Which one's your favorite? Number 3?
It's number 2.
Two.
Number 2?
Come on, Lee.
Two. Yeah. Jamali.
Number 9.
But no, we're talking about number 3 where he's like the who, the me, you scene.
Talking to who? Talking to you.
What are you feeding him?
He did like
Lee?
before you even
got a
get
big
into the
problem, Lee.
plot of the movie
Me?
when he
You?
takes him
You? Me? No, I'm talking about you. Yeah, you.
when he takes him to that karaoke bar and he's like, just, you know, stay like here. And the next thing he's taken over the whole, oh my God. And he asks him to translate. And he's not saying like, he's like, are you even like, what's happening?
all y'all regular people, all you triads over here.
And the massage part. But you know what?
Are you Ricky
and I
Tan?
got this in my shoulder. So I need, he's like 7 girls.
I watch that every time it's on TV.
When he
Oh,
breaks
so
the
good.
laptop and then afterwards, oh, we'll get you a new one. It's fine.
Yeah,
Here, this is fine.
Yep. Yeah. He's like, because all the guys stand up. And he's like, oh, you know, yep.
Number 9, Armageddon.
Classic. It's a good one.
Wow.
I can hear you
Tearjerker.
breathing.
Yeah.
Number 8.
Oh my God, with the
Sorry. No, say it. What?
the TV.
Yeah.
Jeez. And Bruce.
He can't talk now.
I know.
Yeah, that's sad. You know who else can't talk?
Don't you even dare. Who?
Apparently Michael Myers.
Oh, okay.
Where'd you think I was going?
somewhere else.
Oh no, I wouldn't do that.
That would have been way too soon.
Number 8,
I would have probably thrown this
hands.
at you.
I would throw hands.
Across
number
the table.
number 8. Speaking of masks, the Mask of Zorro.
It's a good one.
Okay. Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say that
Yeah.
I have not watched that movie in a while,
No, me either.
and I remember that being like, "Oh, the movie's over." Nope, it keeps going. And then fucking what's his face? The original Mask of Zorro, or the original Zorro, Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah.
Puts it back on and fucking kills it. Like, I gotta watch that movie again.
Which, isn't it? I feel like when you think about Zorro,
I think of the Michael.
Anthony Hopkins is not the person that like
He doesn't look
comes
Hispanic,
to my head. Yeah.
but
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like just not the vibe. He doesn't fit the vibe.
he had a mustache in that movie, so it worked.
He fits the Hannibal vibe like
Oh yeah.
spot on.
I wonder
Like
if that's why they did it. They're like, we need someone,
Creepy.
yeah, who you don't think would be the original Zorro. That's why they did it.
surprise.
Number 7, The Negotiator. Great movie. Samuel L. Jackson, Kevin Spacey. Really good movie. If you haven't seen it, put it on your
I'm
list.
blanking of what
I've
it
seen
is
it,
by
it's
the
been a long
title.
time.
So the cover of it, it's just like red, and it shows both Kevin Spacey and Samuel L. Jackson. Kevin. Sorry, I do an accidental walking all the time.
Oh, Kevin.
Number 6, Ever After, A Cinderella Story.
Drew.
No. Would this be Drew at that point? 98?
98?
I swear Ever After came out. No, you're right.
What else?
I'm
Which other
thinking,
one
hold
would it
on.
be?
I'm thinking about the one with Amy Adams. What was that?
That's Enchanted.
Yeah, I was
That's
thinking that. No,
well
so this is
after.
Ever After. Yeah.
Steve.
Jesus Christ.
Look,
Oh my God.
There's so many movies out there. Number 5, The Parent Trap.
Classic. Wow. What a good one.
You know,
She's a mom now.
the funniest thing is the meme that goes around where it's just like, oh my God, I can't believe we have the same birthday. It's like, you have the same fucking face.
Face.
Yeah.
Yes, that meme is because
No one else in
was
the
that
camp
not
even
all
noticed?
of us watching? No one was thrown off by
Hold
this.
on.
No
One
one
of them
felt
had earrings.
uncomfortable. Like
One of them had earrings.
one
they
of
had
them had long
different
hair,
hair,
one of them had
yeah,
short hair, one of them had an
different haircuts.
accent. You have the same fucking face.
Right.
No one was bothered by this.
Someone was. They were. Right.
I was.
Number 4, There's Something About Mary.
I
Wow.
watched this the other day. I love that movie.
That is
Also-
my most quoted movie ever.
Is it?
We got this one kid, Mongo. They let him out of his cage. No. Okay, what?
Back on the Parent Trap real quick though. Who thought that was a good idea? That was the
Dis-
child custody that they
Disney-
came up with.
Disney in the original.
I'm gonna take one and you're gonna take the other.
Obviously, yeah, it fucked up.
What? Also, what parent would ever want to separate with one of them? There's no way.
Especially when it seemed like it had an amicable breakup.
Yeah.
And
a
like,
little weird.
what if one of them got a better one? Like,
Also,
that sucks,
what if
right?
they weren't? Hold on. What if they weren't
The
twins?
crackhead, you want to trade?
Hold on. What if they weren't twins? There was just one of them. What do you do
You
at that
can't
point?
split them there.
Right. So that's probably
They
like,
lucked
well, we got.
out. They lucked out with the twins. I mean,
Right.
since we got one of
maybe
each, one, you know,
You take this half.
and you,
I'm not taking
Give it,
this half.
give it a legs. Top 3 that week in no particular order, and then we're gonna guess. What you had something before that?
I think that's a Bible story.
What's that?
There were was 2 women and they were arguing over whose kid it was. And the guy came and he said, "Okay, well, this is how we'll solve it. I will cut the kid in half. You take the top part. You take the bottom part. Which one do you want?" And the one woman said, "Well, I want the top part." And the guy took the kid and gave it to the other mom because he said, "There's no way a mom would have let me
Do that.
cut the kid in half."
Hey, you remember the part in the Bible where Cain went to a village and married somebody, but yet there was only 4 people on Earth?
Interesting.
No, because I don't actually even know if that's in the Bible or if it was just a Bible study story or something. I don't know where I heard that from.
Okay.
But it's like I don't know if it's like book whatever verse what like I don't know, but I've heard that story somewhere.
We all went to religious schools, so it's fine here. Top 3 that week, no
Can't
particular
you
order.
tell?
Halloween H20, Halloween Water, Snake Eyes, Saving Private Ryan.
I don't know what Snake Eyes is.
Nicolas Cage, have you seen Snake Eyes?
I'm thinking.
So it's a movie, and I'm going to paint the picture
I
because I
believe you
fucking
that
love
it's a
this movie.
movie.
Thank you. I need that confidence boost. It's a movie in which Nicolas Cage goes to a prize fight in Vegas, basically. And it's like a big boxing match, okay?
Uh-huh.
During the boxing match, there is like not the vice president, but somebody big in the government's there. He gets assassinated.
Who does?
The
Oh, the government
the
person.
government guy. And
Nicolas Cage end a movie.
Nicolas Cage,
The other boxer.
right? Nicolas Cage starts going around to all these different people. They lock down the building so no one can get out, and he starts going to around these different people, and they start retelling the story of where they were and what happened.
Why is he doing that?
I think he's a cop. I can't remember, but
Okay.
him and Gary Sinise are in it, and Gary Sinise is a like he's in the military, like he's a big general or something.
Okay.
So
'Cause
I
was
feel
gonna say,
like
why is he taking this upon himself?
right. I
Let's
think
sit down and
I
shut
think he's either a cop or he's in the military or
Okay,
whatever. So
okay.
they're the only
So
guys
he's
in the
just like,
building that
let's
are good
taking
enough to do
charge
it,
or
right?
whatever. Yep.
So then he keeps talking to different people and they tell it from their story, but then their point of view. But then you see the movie retold from their point of view. So every time you see a different point of view, you learn something new about what happened.
I see.
Seems pretty cool. I'm about to watch
I have not watched it, but I like that idea.
Really good.
What is that movie where they did that the whole movie?
Was
But
it the
wasn't
one that
telling,
blew
but
up? It was a bomb that went off.
Yes.
Yeah, it had
Because I remember a van and stuff.
Vantage
too.
Point.
That's a good movie.
That's what it is. Vantage Point. Mhm.
Yes, with what's his face, Dennis
Quaid.
Quaid in
Dennis
that.
Quaid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Quaid.
But there was a more comedy one too, though, that was like that. But I don't remember what it was, and I want to say it was like early 2000s, and it was like early 20s people or like teenagers or whatever, and it was the same thing. It was like you were seeing each different part of the story happen, but then as you were watching someone else's story, you were literally watching the guy that you were watching earlier like pass them and stuff, and it was I don't remember what it was now, but I like when that. I think it's cool.
Cool.
Like
So
following them all,
Halloween Water, Snake Eyes, Saving Private Ryan.
Okay, well, I've never seen Snake Eyes, so that's hard.
It was a big movie. I mean, it's obviously Nicolas Cage in his heyday. 98. Con Air just
I'm
came
gonna
out.
say,
Con Air, baby. Let's go. Have you seen Con Air?
what week were they all in?
So obviously Halloween Water is in its first. Snake Eyes
Water,
is in its second. Saving Private Ryan is in its 10th week.
and it's still in the top 3. I'm gonna say Halloween.
Number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Saving Private Ryan, Snakebite.
Snakebite.
I'm gonna think. I'm gonna
That's a monster truck.
whatever the fuck. What is that? What it was called?
Snake Eyes.
Snake
Snake
Eyes.
Eyes.
Whatever. But I'm gonna say that Saving
I'm gonna-
Private Ryan was still
Down to
up there.
I cheated.
You looked.
And looked, but I would have put Saving Private Ryan number 1, and then it's a toss up for 2 and 3. But Saving Private Ryan definitely number 1.
So it is number 1, Saving Private Ryan. Come on. That movie was
Well, I can't trust him now. He said he looked first. So
was
No, but
how would I know?
Yeah.
Number 2 is Snake Eyes. Number 3 is Halloween H20.
Well, I thought the movie was called Snakebite.
I just watched
Cool.
Saving Private Ryan the other day.
So I
Still
don't
holds
know.
up.
Dude, and there's so many people in it, man. Vin Diesel.
One of Tom Hanks's best performances.
I agree. That and Castaway.
Mhm.
Doesn't get any better. And those were like almost the same time as well.
I love.
I
Tom
think
Hanks.
I think my favorite scene, just real fast in Saving Private Ryan, is when he tells him what he does.
Yeah.
He's like, what's the pot? He's like, what's the pot up to?
Yeah.
School
It's,
teacher.
yeah, it's so good.
Like, it's so you're like,
Because you're thinking it's something
oh
like
come on,
legit.
Cat. Like
yeah.
you've been here forever. It's like
Just
school teacher.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Tom Hanks is, I think, in my top like 3. Like looking over his career as far as like not new age actors, like has been around since I've been like my whole life. As far as like performances and stuff, I feel like anytime I'm watching his movies, he's embodying whatever
Yeah, he's right.
that role is.
Yeah. So before we move on, I do want to say one thing. So Saving Private Ryan has a scene in it which I'm a guy that I can watch anything gory. I can watch anything.
I know what you're talking about.
I can watch any. Nothing's making me go ugh or. But there's a scene in Saving Private Ryan where the medic is dying, and he's
not the
calling
scene I was
out,
thinking of. Okay.
and he's calling out for his mother.
Very painful.
I don't know why, but that scene gets me. And if it's on TBS or TNT and they don't edit anytime it's on, which I respect.
Yeah.
I have to change the channel, or if I'm watching it, I'm getting popcorn, or I gotta take a piss. I'm getting out of there because I cannot watch that scene. It like just I'm done.
Yes,
like the
yeah.
rest of the day, that's all I'm thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were gonna. I'm okay with that one because it's very moving. But the one where they at the last stand.
Oh, yeah.
where he gets. I thought that's what you're talking about.
That too.
You cannot watch it because
That
even
too.
that guy leaves. You know
Fucked
what I mean?
up.
Yeah, and he
Well,
leaves
no,
fucked up.
what it is it's him like, please don't.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that. Like as he's getting slow,
Yeah.
and you hear it, and there's no music, there's no nothing. That movie is, yeah. I think that's the most beautiful but tragic depiction of war you could have for entertainment.
Yep, I agree. Because almost everyone dies. Everyone dies.
Except for spoilers for a 20-something-year-old
Private
movie.
Ryan.
So, even Nathan Fillion's in it, my boy. All right, budget time. What do we think it costs to make this movie? We're going to reel through these as quick as we can.
See, private land. whole.
They had to rent that whole school out for the one hallway and then 2 rooms.
It wasn't too much until they totaled some vehicles. I'm going to go 20 mil. Keep it cheap.
I was gonna say that too, but I would almost think it could be less.
Are you going to come into 21?
No, I'm gonna say like 17. I think it could have gone less. Like even assuming some of the salaries and stuff. Not a lot of big names yet.
There's not anybody beyond Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis,
right.
yeah.
So
And there's not special. I mean, there's
not a lot of special effects.
except for a head lop and all.
Well,
They really don't-
there's a big special effect in this movie. We're going to get to it.
Okay.
So the actual
Obviously
budget. Well,
not
sorry, I
noticeable to
guessed.
us.
Yeah, I guessed 25 million. Figured a little bit here. Actual budget, and I'm mad at this, is 17 million.
Wow.
Mad at it.
I almost said 18, and I was like, that feels too close to Josh's. Let me go down one more
There you go.
Burned it.
because I didn't want him to go. Oh, you're just right
yeah.
under me. So I.
All right, box office. What do we think? Let's see if we can go 2 for 2 on it. Come on,
I have no
come on.
idea.
2 for 2.
Oh God!
What are
so,
you thinking?
So this is all of our first times watching this, so I don't
Yeah.
even remember like what the hype or anything was about.
I feel like at this point it wasn't that big.
I feel
everybody
like
was
no.
on
I
the
mean,
new
yeah,
school
top 3
stuff.
when it came
Right.
out, but like that doesn't mean everybody loved it.
Not week 10 Saving Private Ryan.
Exactly.
No, not number
No.
1.
So
Also,
I think
This is August.
I cannot believe, honestly, even that it was still top 3 in August.
wanna
I
go see
think
the
around
Halloween movie?
Halloween,
What,
I would have
like,
believed it more that it was in top 3. This I feel like doesn't feel like a top 3 movie, but I could see if you're into Halloween and it's Jamie Lee Curtis is, back because she hadn't been in.
She back.
last- I'm gonna say critics.
No.
This is box office money.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Getting ahead of yourself.
Yeah, I am. All right, I'm gonna say. I don't remember it being. I'm gonna say 80 million.
I'm going like 65.
I guessed 45.
Oh, maybe I'm just really. I'm just like really over.
I'm starting. I
I'm
put myself
overselling
in
it.
98 mode. Where it's how much does a ticket cost?
Right.
Because we talked. Me and him talked this last time. Where it's like the box office is bullshit. Give us a ticket number. Because movies nowadays cost $20, but a movie in 1998 was $5.
5.
Right. So I want to know
So, of
number of
course-
tickets sold, not
Right.
how much money you made. We'll get into that another time because I went down a little rabbit hole.
Oh,
of that
did you?
myself.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice little experiment.
I did. So I guessed 45 million.
That does change things now.
Opening weekend 6.1 million, 16.1 million. Overall, 75 million.
What did I say? 65.
She said 80.
I said 80.
Damn it! You again.
God damn it. Okay, let's see if you can keep going with the tomatometer.
See, this is where I was going.
Roddy-
where I really have
right.
don't even know where to go with
The
this.
Roddy T's, the Rotten Tomatoes score, critics and audience out of 100%. What do we think it is? We're going to you first because you keep doing it.
I mean, I don't think critics would have. I think maybe better for audience. So I'm gonna say critics. 54. Audience, I'd still be low though. I'd say 60.
Okay.
I don't think great, but I think they'd like it better than critics. At
Yeah, I'm
least.
gonna go a little different. I'm gonna go like 42 critics.
Critics,
I'm gonna
okay.
go like 70. Because
70.
it wasn't.
So
it
more,
was a
so
decent
still
movie.
critics lower,
Yeah.
but like bigger gap.
'Cause I think it took
that's really
time. I think it took. The movies like this take time.
Slow burn.
Sure. So I guessed 45 critics,
Okay.
55 audience.
Okay.
Audience, I'm going to do this first.
Okay.
49.
We did not like this.
Critically, 54.
Tell me it's. Shut up. No, it's not. You lied to me.
I'm not lying to you.
It's 54 on
It's
the dot.
54. I'm going to say you cheated, but I know
did-
you didn't.
I would have done a lot
Yeah,
better
I
on
know,
the
I- yeah,
audience.
yeah.
She really. This is a
Yeah.
casual cheating because she really played it off.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I've gotten on movies I was more sure about.
Sure.
I've done worse.
Mm.
And this is my first time seeing this movie.
Okay. So, all right, let's rail through this as quick as we can, too. Who's
These
your
are
favorite?
fun.
No, favorite character.
LL Cool J.
I mean, kind of, right?
Yeah.
Kind of has
He's
to be.
cool.
Yeah.
I picked Joseph Gordon-Levitt just because, like, his shit talking in the
I
beginning.
like that we did both pick, though, like a throwaway
Side
character.
Well, there's
like,
not too many people that are likable in this movie.
Yeah.
Even Jamie Lee Curtis on purpose is kind of shitty, you know, like she's going through alcoholism and like,
Definitely.
and like just being shitty to her son, but also like he's being shitty to her.
Yeah.
But they also should also know like, hey, I'm fucked up. Yeah, I'm fucked up because you made me fucked up. Like,
Also,
but,
if he had gone on that fucking trip like he said he did instead of lying,
he'd be fine.
him and his friends would have been fine.
Right.
He wouldn't have been traumatized like his mom.
But she
Exactly.
would have been dead for sure.
You don't know that.
You don't know that.
I think so.
She'd put up a good fight. But you're right. Maybe she found
Maybe
another
she would've.
van.
Well,
yeah,
she's
you
got the
know.
gun. At the end of the day, she had the gun.
She did.
So, like, if you just
She was
barricade
ready.
yourself in a room,
Yeah.
you got to get in that room.
Yeah.
Because he would have had to find her. He doesn't know where
Well, that's what I'm
exactly
saying.
on
Like,
campus
scary
she was.
movies only happen because people are not smart.
Correct.
Like,
They make poor choices. They just do.
I'm
But
gonna go.
at the same time, I'll argue they're not really thinking about that they're in a in a life or death situation
True.
at first.
Right.
But you're right. They still even make shitty things after, like, what's that commercial where they make fun of it? Why don't we just get in the moving or
yeah.
the car?
No, let's get in the shed with all the chains.
With all
on.
that, and she's like, "You're right. That's smarter."
Yeah. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go oddball here. The boyfriend. Because
The counselor.
yeah, the
guy.
counselor boyfriend, because he was genuinely trying. He was interested.
You're right. You're right.
In her character.
He wasn't that shitty of like, oh, okay.
Like,
or
once he
like, I don't
realized
believe
it
you.
was,
Yeah,
like-
yeah.
Because at first I think he was like, "Ooh, this
Yeah.
is
Terrible shot. Great listener.
You're right. Okay.
Yeah.
Great listener.
Hey, you can only have one or the other, right?
Yeah.
Either
I mean,
ain't
which is
listening,
probably
yeah.
why he died.
I was gonna say,
though,
I feel like
you
if you're a
know
school counselor, you're
what I mean?
probably
All of
I
these
got you.
movies.
emotionally connected versus
Yeah, you're right. You're right. He's a listener.
with the blammy.
Invested.
We don't blame him. All right, favorite scene. I'll just take it while you guys are thinking.
Yeah, sure.
Mine's obviously the iconic shot where they meet face to face in the doorway, looking through the circular
Yeah.
window, and they're just kind of staring at each other. The one thing we haven't really mentioned is the mask in this movie looks fucking terrible.
It does.
Yeah.
All, too
And
white.
you can
Yeah.
see his
You
eyeballs.
can
and
see
he
way
looks-
too much of his face.
and he
too,
just
like
looks
his-
dumb.
Yeah.
Like there's some like shots where he's like,
It
But
almost
those
it
are cute.
almost
Yeah.
looks like stretched out.
yeah.
Yeah, it looks like he just bought it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
honestly, like,
Right.
hey, you guys got any of these?
It's not. Yeah. It's
White
not
mask?
worn. It's not worn out. It's
Right.
not like I've been killing people for 15 years. It's.
But also, okay, so has he been? Well, shit. It's Steve here, and unfortunately, halfway through that recording, everything just stopped. Not sure why, not sure what happened, but we had about another 30 so minutes to go in that. We had some good stuff to get into. We had to talk about our favorite parts and scenes of Halloween H20. We had to talk about any what the fuck moments that there could have been. We also talked about the fun facts of the week, and we gave it our scores. Unfortunately, since we're on such a tight since we're on such a tight schedule, I'm just going to go through and give a quick little rundown of what we went through, do the fun facts, give our scores, what we gave it. I'll do my little spiel at the end here, and hopefully that'll suffice. I do apologize. Not quite sure what's going on. I normally have a redundancy going of just recording audio as well, but that crapped out on us as well. So all around, not a good night for technology on our side here. But so what we were talking about, we got into our favorite characters. We kept going with it. I'm not quite sure where it stopped, but my favorite character was Joseph Gordon-Levitt in this. His brief little cameo, if you will, in the beginning. He did such a great job just being a super dick with that hockey stick walking through the house and breaking shit after he stole the 2 beers. I thought it was really good. His death with a skate through the face is sort of original, not good timing with something that happened in real life. Watching this movie and what went on with an actual professional hockey player over in Europe, ending up getting slashed in the throat and unfortunately passing away. But moving on to that, we talked about our favorite scenes. I believe Tara said something along the lines of the beginning as well. Josh was in sort of the beginning also. My favorite scene is definitely the iconic shot of them meeting at that door, the circular door. It's, to me, the best part of the whole movie. It's the only real, I would say, reason to watch this movie is just that iconic shot. But then the iconic shot's there too with the dumb-looking mask in this movie. You see his eyes. You see too much around his eyes. It just looks rather ridiculous to me. His hair just looks like, I don't know, they're trying to do the same thing as her son in this movie, as Josh Hartnett's hair, which was kind of funny. Which we did talk about how this movie and The Faculty came out in the same year, and the fact that he has the same hairdo. So did he just, I don't know, move to the next set and film that one, which is kind of funny. What the fuck moments for us. I talked about the CGI mask being a little weird. It just felt out of place and kind of dumb. They were changing the mask so much in the movie that, yeah, it's a up close shot of it, but also why couldn't you just, I don't know, not replace it or film that shot again with the new mask you're using? One of those weird things. I also had the rest stop scene was a little weird for me as well, because he comes in, doesn't kill them, doesn't do anything but steal the purse with the keys in it. But that's not the what the fuck for me. The what the fuck was, why would that lady, of all people, have that old-ass truck? You know, like, that just didn't make any sense to me. In 1998, this is where it takes place, that's not a truck that a random lady with a kid is going to be driving, you know? So that was a little weird to me. That was kind of what the fuck. Another big what the fuck for me, and obviously this is a slasher-type follow movie where, yeah, this is the whole trope of it, though, is he was way behind some people, and just around the corner showed up and he was there. Or the part where he's hanging from the ceiling on a bar with one arm, just dropping in out of nowhere. Like, this is a giant open hallway, and Jamie Lee Curtis walks down it underneath that, doesn't see it in her peripheral somehow that there's just a hanging body over her, and then just it comes down. I don't know. It was pretty stupid for me on that one on all fronts, but I don't know. Is it if you watch it just for laughs, maybe it kind of works out for it. So hey, we're gonna get into something right here. The fun facts of the fucking week. Oh, the fun facts of the week. Look at that. We're going to try and do these even though there's nobody here for me. I am recording this day of Halloween to try and fill this episode back out and get you guys a full episode again. I do apologize for everything that happened here. No idea. We're going to get to the bottom of it. We're going to look into it and see why this happened. But fun facts, here we go. During the scene where Norma is leaving, she stands in front of the car from Psycho. The music playing in the background at this part is also from the movie Psycho. Janet Leigh, who plays Norma, played Marion in Psycho. The license plate on the car is also the same as the second car Marion buys in Psycho, NFB418, which are Norman Bates' initials. Norma is the first name of Norman Bates' mother from Psycho. So cool little fun fact there. During one of the scenes at school, Charlie tells John, 20 years from now, you're still going to be living with her, probably running some weird motel out of the middle of nowhere. This, obviously, another reference to Psycho, starring Jamie Lee Curtis's mother and fellow H20 star, Janet Leigh. Kind of a funny, cool thing that they did there. They obviously put a lot of different things in here for Psycho for some reason. Probably because that's her mother, I'm going to go with. On the television in the girls' room, there's a clip from Scream 2 that is playing. It's a callback to numerous Halloween references and clips in the original Scream. However, according to producer Mustafa Akid, when the scene was filmed, the girls were actually watching So I Married an Axe Murderer. This made for an entirely different joke. A movie featuring Michael Myers had its character watching the star of So I Married an Axe Murderer, Mike Myers. This clip, though, was then changed to Scream 2 in post-production. So there's an actual story out there that they asked Mike Myers to be in this movie just to walk by on the street of Jamie Lee Curtis, and he turned it down. So obviously they probably said, well, if we're not going to have that, we can't do this. So they didn't. The director and writers decided to treat this movie as if Halloween 4-6 never took place, the third film being unrelated to the other, Season of the Witch. This was a decision made to keep the plot simple and focused on the Laurie character. I'm not quite sure if I agree with that. It's one of those things where if you're trying to watch these movies and figure out what the hell is happening, I mean, you can't, because you have to know going in or afterwards that, hey, those movies don't even matter. And who's really telling you that, right? So I don't know. I don't like movies that continue a story with the same characters after there's been movies or stories told with the same actors and characters, but yet we're supposed to know we don't need to follow that. I don't know. It's confusing, very confusing. One of the masks used from Halloween: The Curse of Michael Myers was used for the first scene of the appearance of Mike Myers in this film. It was used during his attack on Marion, but all the later appearances feature a new mask sculpted for this film. They had shot the sequence while the studio went back and forth on which mask they preferred. In the Halloween 25 Years of Terror documentary, John Carl Buckler and Greg Nicotero of K&B FX revealed 4 completely different masks are used throughout the movie. The first one, from John Carl Buckler, resembled the one from Halloween 6. However, the producers were not satisfied, so they called in Greg Nicotero and had him make a new mask, and filming resumed using it. That mask was replaced by another one, and at one point, a CGI mask is also used. Again, just real weird to change up what makes Mike Myers, the mask, right? Yeah, obviously there's points where he takes it off or whatever, but they've always changed the mask up, and in this movie in particular, it's definitely the dumbest looking one, and it puts a lot of dumb looks on his face. You know, like, surprise, I'm here, and surprise, you know, I don't, it just doesn't do the character justice to me. I think the best look you can have is you don't see his eyes. That's the whole point of it, is he's inhuman almost, right? He's the shape. He's following you. There's no reason for it, even though this movie tries to give him a reason. In reality, is there a reason? Like, why? How does he know that her son is turning 17? Like, if he's been gone for this whole time, is he watching her? How would he know that she's, had a child and all this? It's just, I don't know. But final decisions. Tara gave this a 5. Josh gave this a 6. They both said that, well, Tara also said it's not really her thing. Slasher movies are not really her thing, but also there's some parts of this movie that can be enjoyable, but on the most part of it, it's not a good movie. Josh, same. So here's what I said. I've always heard that this movie was one of the best entries in the series, but is it? Because there's nothing in this movie that stands out other than Laurie fighting back for the first time really in the series. There are no interesting or memorable kills, and the kill count is super, super low. There is no sense of urgency or on the edge of your seat feeling from this. This movie, to me, just exists. There is barely a reason for Mike to be away for 20 years, and now why all of a sudden is he back after all this time, and where was he? So I'm giving this movie a 5 out of 10 it's just, I don't know, for me, I thought going in this was going to be the movie, you know what I mean, where all these people die and this huge kill count and a lot of interesting original deaths, but there really wasn't any when you think about it. When you break it down, I mean, what's the only original death in this? Mike Myers getting his head cut off at the end. In reality, they retcon that afterwards to be some random ambulance worker that he put in the costume. And then, like, if that was a random ambulance worker, would he survive getting, number one, thrown out of the car through the windshield, getting hit by the van, then falling down the hill, then hitting a giant tree, and then having a van hit him in the back of the tree? I don't know. It's too much to let go. So next week, it's my pick. We're getting back to the normal scheduled programming around here. We're doing a movie that is very dear to my heart, a super awesome sci-fi 90s flick that a lot of people either understand or don't. That movie is going to be Starship Troopers. It's going to be a great review. We're going to work out all the fucking bugs that we got here. We're going to get everything working good. Again, I want to thank you guys for being here. I want to thank you still listening, even with all the technical difficulties here. Right as we started ramping up to it, I don't know, just cut out on us. Not a fun thing to experience. I'm sure everybody out there has gone through some technical difficulties before, but still wanted to get this one out for you guys. And have a happy Halloween. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe. If you want to follow us in any way, you can go to our website, www.thedecisionreel.com. If you're there, you can buy some merch if you really want. You can support us in that way. You can buy a t-shirt, hat, cups, leggings. We got everything up there. You can also use the code REEL10, REEL10 for 10% off your order and get it to you. So thanks, guys, again for listening and watching. You have a good one, and we'll see you next week.